till my speaker come. I'll keep going till my speaker come. I'll keep going till my speaker come. I'll keep going till my speaker come.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown-skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino. Uh-huh.
this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert to
till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. 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 Going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. 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 I'll keep going till my speakers come blow.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and and checks.
It's all midweek madness in the ESL Challenger League. Happy Wednesday to you all. Let's get into some more matches as Cup 1 of the European Division rolls on. My name is Eternal J. I'm joined by Dwayne, as per usual, to cover today's official proceedings live on ESL TV. How are you doing tonight, Matt?
Well, we've had 2 days back-to-back of, let's just say, surprising affairs. Maybe teams that we didn't expect were going to be as strong as they were. And also teams that should be absolutely destroying others are finding it difficult. This bracket is one to definitely follow.
Yep, most certainly, and unfortunately with only so much that we can show when simultaneous matches are ongoing. But look, there's plenty of action still to come over the course of today, tomorrow, for the rest of the week here in the ESL Challenger League. So as we look forward to what should start to be the tipping point, I want to say, of the bracket, we do start to look towards some of those key contenders and start to wonder who is going to end up taking this edition of the Challenger League.
Indeed. I think you're always going to have some front runners, right, to try and go deep, to try and look at, let's say, a first or second place finish. Try and get as far in the competition as possible, help out the VRS rank, help out with the prize pool overall. And for a lot of these teams, I would say with 12 grand up for place with first, and especially with a lot of the VRS ranks being very similar to one another, more wins in this competition is only going to progress these teams higher up tier 2.
Especially if you can make it within that top 8 position, you can already see the benefits of how the VRS rank can improve just based off prize money alone. It is the single biggest contributor that you can get in a tournament. So for a lot of these teams, $12,000 would go quite a long way to boosting them up the rankings and also trying to get a spot in the ESL Pro League, which is what the Challenger League is really all about. Here. Let's take a look at the teams and show exactly how things have progressed over the course of the last couple of days. Obviously, yesterday we were looking into the lower bracket. In the upper bracket is where our focus is going to mostly center around. The quarter-finals, there's already a number of key teams involved in it. Sparta, of course, the team that took down one of our tournament frontrunners in Alliance. They'll be taking on TDK today. Gen 1 have been looking particularly decent, however, against the Polish side of Oremont, who've been looking decent for a while now. That's going to be a matchup that could bang.
Indeed, even that TDK game, we've got, what, Sugar, Xanta, the old BetBoom players, Axel, Zorti's out there, Nafany. You've got some names that you're very much familiar with. Now, I think that Nuclear Tigers are probably going to go quite deep. I've always been quite impressed with their runs recently. I'd say the last 3 months, they've certainly progressed up to a very high standard at this level.
Of course, MOUZ NXT, Johnny Speens is the other match in the quarterfinals, and that will be our match to focus on in today's proceedings. But before we get there, a quick look at the lower bracket may also be involved here. Because, of course, as much as we can talk about the winners and talk about the teams that can make progress towards the trophy, we also have to talk about some of those losers, because there are some unlikely teams to be seen here in this portion of the bracket. I mentioned earlier, Alliance got knocked down by the Sparta side. Now they're taking on Rebels to try and fight for their tournament lives against Unity yesterday, Dwayne. That match got far too close for comfort.
Yeah, it certainly did. I think new day, new perspective. That's what Twist has got to be thinking going up against the Rebels. That should be a bit of a layup game. They should get themselves a comfortable 2-0, try and work some momentum. X-Ruby, another side that are towards the higher echelons of VRS in Tier 2. They can go deep in the majority of competitions. They'll look at trying to go on a little bit of a run. And for Illwill, I think we're still getting quite impressed with the team ever since they decided to get rid of Foster, bring Deha into the roster. They're still not cracking, but they're still winning a lot of games.
Yeah, it's surprising everybody involved in that mind. I will look forward to seeing whether they can make a more permanent solution out of this squad, but that's a question for another day entirely. Again, today's focus is all about our matchup on stream. We've got MOUZ NXT versus Johnny Speens. A bit more of a, I don't want to call it like a Nordic derby per se, because there is a lesser of the Nordic talent on the MOUZ NXT side, but full Sweden over on Johnny Speens, and they've been doing particularly well as of late. But the MOUZ NXT side, we're going to focus on first up here, Dwayne, because they're currently coming into this matchup with a lot of heat around there.
Indeed, they're winning a lot of games, and the lineup, as you can see by the majority of the players, there's not many guys that are known. OP Dust most recently played for Soar's Academy side, the Soar youngsters, but everybody else basically have made their HLTV debut with this MOUZ NXT banner. So everyone's really young. They're all 17, 18, 19 years on, and they're winning a lot of best of threes. They're going quite deep in the majority of the recent tournaments, so they'll look at ECL as a great chance to be able to keep going, try and go for as long as they can.
And especially knowing that not only have been able to go deep in the tournaments, but coming into this series, they've currently got themselves a 7-match winning streak. They have been completely on fire as of late. And for a team as well like that, at times you and I have been quite critical of. We talked about their inexperience not favouring a lot of like favoritism in some series, in some matches where they do look rather messy on the tactical basis. So there are some moments where MOUZ NXT do dip down the well, but maybe these recent match streaks are starting to show that the part-time roster is coming together a little bit.
And that's always what's so impressive, right? When you've got kids that aren't full-time salaried, when they've still got school behind them, to think how far the progression is going to be only excites me for the future. Now, I look at this Johnny Speed side and think we've got some ex-Tier 1 players in server today. We've got Draken, we've got Lekro, Sapek, Heap, and Jokab have all played at a high level. Jokab even got to play with the main NIP team for a brief period. So this is a veteran roster that has been doing quite well recently. I think they'll be very disappointed though, Jay, with the previous best of 3 that's literally just finished moving into this one that we have tonight.
Yeah, you were just talking of the form from the part of the MOUZ NXT side, and the form's still good from Johnny Speed. You won't see it on this recent results moment, but just a moment ago, before this series even got started, they took on Metasport in a losing effort in CCT. So that's a Swedish derby that I guess you could see going back and forth. Johnny Speed tends to have the one-up over Metasport, and considering the position that they've been in recent little affairs. But the fact of the matter is that Johnny Speeds indeed have lost a series coming immediately into this one. That might upset that form a little bit, but all in all, it still looks pretty good from the boys of the Johnny Speeds camp. So as we look towards this particular series, Dwayne, let's talk about some of those players to watch out for here, because we've got a very different sort of like ranking here. Zelix is a player who's very inexperienced. You mentioned a moment ago, you're only really knowing about OPDOS. You might recognize Zelix from standing in for the MOUZ NXT, the MOUZ main team rather, but Jokab has a lot more experience behind him, even if he is the least experienced player on the Johnny Speeds camp.
It was funny, when Zelix first joined this team, I was doing a bit of history on him, and he played 3 seasons of main back-to-back, and then just got promoted straight towards an academy team. Now, he's in really good touch. I'd say the last few tournaments, probably since the start of the year, he's been able to excel his individual form a lot higher than where he was towards the tail end of 2025. Now, Jokab out on the other side, he's 20 years old, he's got nearly 400 maps played on HLTV, and now 82 across Johnny Speeds. And I think that really helps, right? Give him time to embed in the system, use all that experience that he had on NIP, out on Young Ninjas, and start generating it here with what is a lot of players that have achieved quite a lot in the Swedish scene, but also on the international marker. So I think for Johnny Speeds, considering they've been an organization at times that have lost a lot of key players to basically poaching other orgs, right, they've still managed to be a really stable team and a fairly threatening one in Tier 2 overall.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team that tend to kind of like, I don't want to say feed things up per se, but they tend to have a lot of players before they can really become like significant elements within the Tier 2 and Tier 1 spaces. Like Male 09 was part of this team before, Bobek was part of this team before, Rolf was here in the past. And now they can also sort of like look at themselves as being one of those kind of feeder teams into a certain extent capacity to find talent out the Swedish side, out the Swedish scene rather, because their backroom seems trained well for it. They just recently brought in Freiburg about a month ago, obviously a Swedish legend now coaching the side. They've got backroom staff, including incredible like backup players to found and invest in the project. They've got Hypers and an assistant coach and analyst, so they've got a lot of foundations here on the Johnny Speed side that could look to be rather impressive.
Yeah, indeed, and I think for Johnny Speeds, it's all about preparation in a series like this. Now, we know that their Instaban is Ancient, and we know that the Instaban for MOUZ NXT is going to be Inferno. Now, as for the picks, MOUZ NXT used to pick a lot of trains, so they've been hit quite harsh with this veto. They pick Ancient, they pick Nuke, they pick Mirage, they pick a little bit of Anubis, and they pick Dust too. So they've got a lot of options, whereas for the Swedes, they love Overpass. I'm certainly expecting that in from Johnny Speeds.
And just for reference on how impactful Train was, even now that has been brought out of the pool in the last 3 months, they're still the 4th highest played map in the pool for the MOUZ NXT side. So Anubis bit comes in for them, nice little curveball, one map goes out, another one comes in, Overpass to the Johnny Speed side, Nuke will decide it's all for them.
Yeah, we saw a series not that long ago from MOUZ NXT against Brute on CCT. They picked Anubis. This is now the 7th Anubis pick since it's come into the map pool. So it's definitely not their go-to, but it is a map that they are picking quite frequently. Now, as for the Johnny Speeds, this is the 22nd Overpass pick in the last 3 months across 30 series from them. So you know what to expect from them. You know that it's a very good track record. And for MOUZ NXT, the few times that they do play Overpass, I've not been too impressed by their individual showing on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it hasn't really been the most stellar of performances from an eye test perspective, but the results have been coming in the series wins. Maybe another 2-1 series could be in the MOUZ NXT side, especially when you consider that this opening map of Anubis, it is great for MOUZ NXT. Only one-time play by Johnny Speed, and that was against Unity earlier on in the bracket. So I don't know where to go with this one. I don't think there's a key favourite, but I do feel like it's still going to be a 2-1 series. How do you feel?
I'm going to go 2-1 towards Johnny Speeds. I think there could be contention on this T side. Now, that game you just mentioned of Unity, 10-2 half Johnny Speeds got.
See if they can make it happen again. Pistols are live for our matchup today in ECL. Zelex will draw out first blood, but Draken takes him back immediately towards Glyph. The Molotovs will ensure that the CTs can't push forward and regain control of that angle, and Joey took a goosh down, I believe, towards Sapek, forced back into the CT spawn, where all 4 players will group up and try to set for the retake.
The flash needs to be on point because they've got to try and blind a lot of these T-side players.
Draken just swings in for a headshot kill, double up on Joey, secured. Triple in the round overall. Might even swing for a quadra. Oh, Joe Cab comes up with his own casualty instead. Bombs down, no chance for OP Dust to retake, not with so many players around the corner. And Draken will make it 4 on the trot for his kill counts and a pistol round for Johnny Speeds.
Yeah, well done coming through from Draken. And it's funny, Jay, if you add up all of the HLTV maps played from OP Dust, Zelex, Joey, Aok, Nico, and you get about 900 or so, around that figure. Draken has over 2,000 just to his name. This is a guy that has played at the top end level and a very high level in tier 2 throughout the majority of his career. And not only is he the AWPer of the team, but he's also someone that can start putting in some very good performances.
An excellent start from the Johnny Speeds camp, and you're looking at them, they get a decent T-side into this one. It ends up rocketing as sky high as it was against the Unity camp, and you might have seen him steal the snap away. And that might not bode well for the MOUZ NXT camp. USP is rather than Eco. We'll be able to get one player of Draken, the second one of Joe Cab, not so much. He keeps 4 alive in this one. The AKs get recovered. All ends well for Johnny Speeds. 2-0 start, MOUZ NXT right on the bye.
And this is where you try and use it as a bonus for as much as you can. Now, Nicodian is putting up some mental numbers on their recent campaigns on Anubis. 1.41 rating in the last 9 maps played. So someone to be watching out for, the young Dane. Let's have a look at how MOUZ NXT conduct themselves in the first gun rounds. Now, something that we do know about Anubis is there is a lot more control available for the CTs out towards water, a lot more aggro attempts in the early round. But at the moment, especially with the FAMAS in play for OP Dust, it's pretty standard. And Letcro gets hit by that A anchor. That HE towards the T-steps does well.
Standing Speeds coming in the CT side. Nicodian's on first contact out in the open towards A main. Joe Cab's going to get that kill. OP Dust will try and stim her away. Smokes will try and provide a little bit of cover, but Joe Cab's going to get ahead of the curve there. Mars forced to back up, and Joe Cab doesn't want to play too aggressive in this one. Let his teammate rotate in the back instead, coming up from Heaven. Kill on the first and the second for Sapek. Does go down to the Molotov. But it's still a 4-on-2 for Johnny Speeds, and I think MOUZ NXT know that they are out of this round.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing in it. This has been a clinical site hit. Easy entry against the Dane, and then they just follow up against the in-game leader out in Heaven. And there's a slight lurk from Heap towards that B bomb site, so this could get slightly more expensive. Now, Jay, I know that you're quite keen about the recent streak, a lot of best of 3s being won in a row from MOUZ NXT. I've got a concern with that, okay? Now, they played in the PGL Bucharest Open Qualifier last night. They played the Ox UG side. Mate, they were playing past 1 AM CET. I went to bed and map 3 was still going on. Now, they've come into today. They've played a 10 AM CET game versus Favbet. They've then had another match versus TDK, I should say, in the afternoon. And now they've got another best of 3. Bro, these guys are kids. These guys are 17. How are they playing past 1 AM and then playing 3 best of 3s back to back in a day?
Oh, they do say kids have energy. Here's a good point, though, to mention. They have been winning efforts today, but this could be where the mistakes would come out, I think, the most clearly.
And even still, they played 2 best of 3s yesterday. Mate, they had to play the best of 1s as well in that open qualifier. So just think about the amount of maps that they've played in the space of, what, 24 hours?
Short and sweet, a lot. See how that fatigue will come back to bite them, because 6 maps today so far. This will be another 7. Sapek striking down Joey to kick things off, and Johnny Speed's clearly starting to read upon the MOUZ NXT weaknesses. Get right up in their face and win the fights outright. No one can react towards the man. And that M4 not really supported by any other main staple weapons. Joey's already gone down. Zelex, what can he do here?
But there's certainly not a lot that you would expect. Maybe one kill at absolute most. I think when you're already on 65, you have to hope that you can get a lot of teammates to bait for you and draw distractions to get that M4 in for a spray. Now, the flash timing against main could be good, and Sapek does see the M4, so it's even better information from everyone coming out from main.
Well, the flash forward doesn't get the kill for it, though, Zelex. Oh, I picks up the M4 and finds the man to return. Draken down. Keeps bomb on his back. Electro close. OG just in the open. Swinging the pistol. Nicodian gets his kills together, but now Jokab can come back and return. I know that M4 is back behind the pillar somewhere. Finds a fight. Sees that second man. Tags him extremely low and nearly gets him in the end. IOC with a triple returns the favor to Johnny Speeds and takes one back to MOUZ NXT.
Well, it didn't look as if much was being generated there. The M4 gets dropped out from Zelix, but it gets into the hands of AOC. And right there, he just tries to repos around the util. Rather than be defensive, he's eager to fight. He gets a good pick out there towards the first player on the pillar, and then the second one of the in-game leader of Letcro just loses out. Johnny Speeds will be fuming at that one because they had the util up on the bomb site. They had a lot of players pathing out from main, in from electric, but they just end up losing too many individuals, and it gives MOUZ NXT an unlikely first.
Start up in this matchup that may now provide them a bit more support. Was one AK saved or brought in for IOC. The M4s for 3 other players. The deal out from here probably the weakened element as Letcro about to get faced into mid. Head turn to the side. Back up individual. Can't really support against Joey's trade frag because Letcro is going down. He's been unscathed in doing so. Well, Alpha gets recovered by Heap. But he's going to have to back away with it.
You've got Johnny Speeds now pressurizing the default towards A, and they need an A pick. They need one of these extensions out towards A main to either catch the likes of Nicodian or from Joey. Now, the mid-lurk of Heap isn't seeing very much at all, and Draken is taking more and more space away. Now, Nicodian might even drop down here, might not stay in here Heaven with OP Dust.
Oh, does block the smoke, so he hasn't got vision onto the site, but they are going to back up towards Heaven, all 3 players. All the M4s in contention. The Molotovs from Draken going to try and force them out into the open. There's flashes also coming in as well, but no one gets blinded by them. Joe Cab will be hard for that tag. They now know that there's player presence on the bomb side, but they're waiting for a bomb tap. Some info to that key kill. And Sapek plants to the back corner knowing that camera's opened. Open eye for the CT side. They're up a man in the retake though. Draken's AWP shot misses and Sapek will go down. Player on site. That's Jokab now set to strike. The AWP unrevealed. The AK getting closer, but Nicodian gets in. Zalex gets the backup in towards mid. Draken finally hits a kill, but it's a 1v4. He's lost all of his backup. Incendiaries, nades, and an AWP converge upon the AWP of the T side to claim the second on MOUZ.
Well, Draken just knows that he's stuffed up there, isn't he? He's the one player that's critical in the round to set the cross with his teammate of Jokab. You just can't be missing. Now, the swing comes in from Bricks, the AWP gets baited, and then it's just a lot of pressure. You've got CTs flooding out from that area. They're coming in from Heaven. It's just never going to happen in a 1vx. MOUZ NXT get a couple of rounds in a row, and what should have been an easy 4-0 when the economy is quite built up. You've got going to get Draken on the AWP, you're going to have AKs for everyone. You've now lost the Nico, lost the following gun round, and what are you working with? Absolute scraps in round 6.
Scowl still gets a decent headshot in from Draken. Nicodian unexpectedly falls. Oh, he gets the AWPer as well. Okay. Draken with a double. Picking up the AWP immediately for it and always making amends from that previous blunder. Triple not quite secure. He's going to get forced back by the Incendiary, but he's done his damage. This might be enough to get the round here for them. Heap's fallen in turn to 1HE. OP Dust will creep forward, but knowing he's lost that AWP.
They've got to hope for a good timing out here on B because they've only got a couple of deagles to fight against this anchor. Now, Zelex is starting to move away, and we're starting to see him and Joey regroup. Now, Draken needs to get a little bit of distraction. He needs to get that AWP into electric.
OP Dust now clears space. And find the AWP with his back turned. Draken is a dead man. Tapped in the back. Letcro Jokab and Sapek also fall down towards Zelix. They do maintain control. A little bit risky, a little bit scary for a moment, but not scary enough.
Well, I think that gives you a bit of potential of what Draken's made of in this series. He just plants himself with the scout towards A, doesn't he? Nigodia doesn't have a chance. Aok's got that AWP, and you'd think Orc versus Scout should be a freebie. It's another one. Well, there we have it. The 30-year-old vet is showing up. And at a 3-3 score, I think MOUZ NXT can be satisfied with how these last few rounds have gone down.
Sold an unlikely one with the Hero M4, turned it into a solid rifle win and nearly lost a little bit of control back to the AWP, but held 3 players alive in the last round, and now you're up to evens. You've got the opening man advantage in the next rifle round. Sapek will turn back on OP Dust. Make it a 4-on-4.
Well, I don't know about that one. Playing the man advantage, extremely aggressive out there in mid. That's an easy punishment against the in-game leader. Now Joey's going to swing wide, does not see Sapek, that's slightly hugged the angle. Now Jokab's further back, and they've got a lurk outside B, and then Draken's clearing all of this mid space.
Smoke in mind, Sapper going to lean forward, and Zelix was not expecting him to pop forward of that smoke, so now the man advantage goes the way of the Johnny Speeds once again. Joey forced to use an incendiary to block off main, but Molotov to the backside will force him away. Flashbang catching him blinded as well. Sapek to check Glyph. And Joey's going to wait for backup to get here. Codian will be one of them. Missing those jaws against Sapek. Sapek returns fire alongside Heap getting Aok. And the Codian a 1 versus 4 to take. You isolate the first duel. Second man seen in solo as well. They'll peek together with Draken's bait and switch. The Draken gets the directive kill. And that reclaims the lead for Johnny Speeds.
Well, if I'm Aok, I'm just fuming because I've got an opening kill, and then not only 10, 15 seconds later, I just have a teammate that's just aggro mid. No teammate with him, no util. I mean, what is this pause? Dunno. I open up B site really easily, and a couple of whiff sprays deep in CT just get punished. That's an excellent response by the T's.
Well, beginning circumstances should have indicated to a MOUZ NXT round. Instead, Draken's now set and ready to receive the aggression in ahead of the electric smoke from the T side, getting Zelix and Joey. No resistance held. It's a 5-on-3 already with pistols only to defend out A main. Flashbang forward, takes the fight on Sapek, barely wins it out. Joko can get a fast trade.
And it might be a small detail, Jay, but just look at the position that Draken is holding. Because he's hugging that wall, he does not get blinded. So those double flashes come in, just don't affect him at all. OP Dust is basically in a miracle where he's got to get 3 and drop the bomb. It's just never going to happen. They all trade and space really well. And that's excellent shooting coming out of Draken. 11-4 in round 8. He's really putting in a shift right now.
One round is all he made mistakes in. Everything else been pretty set up from the T side. Orpa puts Johnny Speeds back up on the front foot. 5th to the 3 of MOUZ NXT. Only AWP to stay in for Aok, but not a lot of cash around it. Lost bonus isn't fully built up either. This will be an awkward little bit of turbulence for the MOUZ camp. Nothing they can do until that cash rebuilds, though. Johnny Speeds will likely get away with a 6-3 unless another magical round comes out of this hero rifle. Aok did pick up the M4 for a triple when they had that steal, so maybe there's something in it for him. Seeing a secondary M4 coming out. Okay, Joey does refund it for a second. I thought they were going to go in for the forced buy, but they opted against that. A smart idea.
And the concerning factor is that Johnny Speeds have played this map twice in now the span of, what, 1 week? And I know that it might only be 1 map on record, but with how they performed against Unity, it's definitely a risk here for MOUZ NXT to pick it. Let's just have a look at just how many T rounds they get. If they get themselves up to 8, maybe even 9, you'd start thinking about a 2-0 potential. Now, all of this water space has finally been taken, but taken on an eco and a half buy rather than a single gun round that we've seen.
Boost up on the SMG, finds his fight. Sapek goes down. OP Dust is low HP now. The HGs will take him the return. There's nobody left towards the A bomb site now. The CTs are going to try and rotate players in, but just so little equipment to do so here. USP 5-7. 5-7 will be the port of call. The AWP is going to come forward. A blind sprays onto Lekra. Actually catch him on timing. Elk got an easy pick on the first player, second man necessarily. Jump face still forcing him away. Draken Zorb taking the man advantage back, but Aok finally strikes to a 3-on-3. Oh, what a tap that is from Draken. He really is hitting it all. York now to post. Molotovs deep in the heavens. Alex will be able to sneak past, maybe get Joe Cab, maybe get the players on the site. Try and take him down. Indeed, he'll get towards it, but both him and Aok will be returned on. And indeed, the 6 is locked in by the speeds.
And surely, Joe, we just can't keep blaming CS2. What is going on with some of these AWP whiffs? The last few days, we've had so many. MOUZ was a key example yesterday. I'm looking at that one for AOK. I know that the player is jumping over, okay? It's not the easiest of shots in the world, but it's also not the most difficult. You just can't be missing those. Let's see if it's a series on that fine detail. I mean, Draken's certainly not missing many shots.
Pistol or AWP, doesn't matter what he's using it to great effect. Big gun set, Sapek waltzing his way forward, Zelix backing away. Has to get out of dodge. Damage has been done towards Sapek in Heap, so the starting advantage with the HP, but look at the walk forward of Heap. Can't get the spray together against the Glyph player. Zelix comes in to support and gets the opening kill.
I tell you what, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Johnny Speeds. It might not have been an opening pick, but we're starting to see them be very creative, getting out there on the front foot. And Joe Cab could cut rotations. No, not quite against the AWP.
Aok keeps it at a 5-on-3. Extending the man advantage and likely locking Johnny Speeds out of the round here. Sapek's at half, Lekro's only on a single kill. Top fragger is ranking, AWP still not infallible in these contexts, and as Sapek goes down towards the A main fight, it's going to have to be the split into the B site. Neither man has the bomb, so Lekro's got to go back for it to win this round of the kills alone. Seeing there was a peek out to the backside. Draken connects him. Lekro gets another. 3 men now remaining for MOUZ NXT, but now that they know that they're both here, Aok and Nakoni will just make their way in.
Joey knows that bomb's coming in from main because he heard the footstep back. Draken is just hoping for another overpeak.
Heard that. Still finds Joey. Looks back towards the smoke. 20 seconds. Gonna try and cover off that bomb planter. It might have to do so. See them swinging forward. Draken finally gets caught by the USP. Lekro curls the kill around. He's flash blinded for the time being. And the AWP peeks forward. Aok takes a tag, but takes another triple clutch to make it 4 for MOUZ NXT. Trying to recover this half to get 6 apiece.
I'm being funny, Joe. That's a 4 versus 2 where Zelix sees the AWP coming out of Electric and he just wide swings him. Like, what am I looking at here? Where is the composure? Like, this is actually a sitter of a round. We'll see it on the replay. Why are we peeking that? Why are we even giving Draken a chance? Mate, a 2v5 can only be won by opposition errors. And I think that's exactly what I just saw in that last round from MOUZ NXT.
And the tactical called in by Johnny Speeds. MOUZ mistake heavy. Seen this out of them before. I mentioned a moment ago before we got started that it's a team that we've seen some awkward moments out of them. You mentioned as well the fact that they've played so much over the last 24 hours.
And a lot of games that have gone 3 maps, which doesn't help. I mean, that one that they played earlier this afternoon went, what, all rounds in regulation in map 1, all rounds in regulation on map 2. It went 13-10 on the decider. You don't really want best of 3 series that drag on if you have to play a lot in a day.
Kill from Sapek gets Aok overextending out of that flashbang. Joe Cab can take the Mac 10 against the man and remove him from play. Or pass back towards Lekro. I'd love to find Draken in a moment's time. He's back over the other side of the map though, so just play from the 5-on-3 for now.
I like this from Johnny Speeds. Don't just accelerate into the bomb site after getting those picks. The bomb was still elsewhere. Just keep it really tight. Go in for the split B. And if you're Joey, well, you need more than a miracle. There's not a teammate even close to rotation, so he's probably going to have to get 4 kills.
Nades up, Lekro lands, Joey, back turns, and round done. Zelix and OP Dust have no choice but to save what little they have, maybe find some weapons dropped off their teammates out towards main, especially for OP Dust. You won't see any of them. Stolen away by the T side. Thrown away by Johnny Speeds. Very broken, forced buy back from them going into the next round, the final round of the half. And could well be an 8-4 half right now for Johnny Speeds. They're looking like they most likely.
A good prep has come here from the Johnny Speeds, and I think it's nice to see that someone like Freiberg is finally taking a coaching gig, right? Because he's never coached before. He played on Dignitas, he was on Heroic, Optic, but of course everyone's going to remember his time on NIP. I think the only one of his real veteran teammates that's done coaching is Exist, right? That's now coaching NIP, but other than that, Get Right's not done coaching, Forrest hasn't done it either. So at some point you do expect that those guys that had a lot of success in the past would eventually drop down to the tier 2 divisions and to start regrouping with some old teammates. Yeah, 34 now.
Kind of a shot for AOC. No connections on that big green gun. The nades will at least stand pretty nicely on Draken, so they'll keep them limited as best they can. Those two rifles, AOC's up and OP Dust's M4, the two weapons that need to strike the best chances of winning out this round here. So these are playing suppression out towards A, leaving it pretty open towards the B main position on the contrary. Nicodian all beyond the smoke, Lecro behind it in towards the mid campaign.
Very patient here from the Speeds. Lecro just waiting to see if there's anyone out here from the mid doors directly. Sapek knows that there's no one out in the electric, and Draken is waiting for aggression to come from A, and I think at one point it will come.
Forwards. Got ahead of the curve on that one of the CT side. Get 2-for-1 trades, 2-for-2 with Sapek coming in with backup support. The bomb is not with the T side though. They're going to start extending towards electric, and that might give Heap a little bit of an avenue to work into the bomb site with, knowing that they must have pushed out there. Wary of that gap that the T's have left, now being seen by Joey. He'll take some tag damage. Lecro gets his kill onto AOC, and the last two men seen by Heap, connected on the spray transfer, and indeed they lock in an 8-4 half on the T side for Johnny Speeds.
Well, I'm quite impressed, Jay. That was a well-drilled Johnny Speeds, and considering that MOUZ NXT won an eco that had a saved M4 out on that B bomb site, mate, this could have been even harsher than 8-4.
Maybe, certainly so. It has certainly looked towards more the Unity side of things, but not quite to that 10-2 one-sidedness. So MOUZ NXT, bit of buffer as they transition to the T side on their map pick after the break. MOUZ, but a solid Speeds is what we see in the first half of Anubis. The Johnny Speeds camp are now set and ready to try and take this map away from the opposition, but they've got the T-side of MOUZ to contend with first.
And this is where pistol rounds are going to be very key. Sapek and Jocab getting the Julies and searching out from mid. These Julies might be able to catch some water individuals.
Jocab doesn't overextend just yet. Got several players there. Bomb carrier and all receive. It's actually Joey that takes that first fate, and now the Codian takes 2 kills against him. Now gets caught in the back line, still turns in for the triple, and that is a little bit more like it right now for MOUZ. Bomb now should commit to sight. Ayok should get caught off guard, though. Goose down Draken, not going to make it easy for him in the slightest. If he gets away with this kill, he won't. Lecro in a 1 versus 5, and the pistol win for MOUZ will keep them away from Dire Straits.
Well, lovely shooting coming through from Nicodian. It just starts running the entry path there into the B bomb site, and everyone just collapses. Lecro can't do anything either. So it's a clean round to come in from MOUZ NXT. They've been playing a lot of Anubis in these last few officials. They've already played it twice today, so this is now going to be their 3rd time. And they've all been pretty competitive games. Against Favbet, it was a 13-9. Against the Zorti and Co team, that was what, a 13-10, so getting pushed quite the distance. And Johnny Speeds didn't do a lot of damage in that last round, so you probably expect a USP round, get the rifles in early.
Basics to speak of. USPs only. Bit more of a quicker formality for MOUZ NXT, who are already prodding into the A bomb, so the gamble stacks towards B. They're going to start to see nothing's here, so yeah, nothing that the Speeds can do. Maybe an exit frag if they can 5-man push Joey. The trade potential against the likes of Zelex. But yeah, they back away pretty nicely. They're going to try and space them out. They will do so successfully. First kill, second kill. Nice and easy coming in from the T side.
And we know that both of these teams have got, let's say, fairly good expectations of this overall bracket, trying to go deep, trying to go on a bit of a run. We have seen Johnny Speeds do it in the past. Just the very last season of ECL Cup number 3, they got themselves a 4th place, Jay. They beat Arc Red, they beat Partisan, they even beat Alliance in the upper bracket. They eventually got knocked down by Sangul, and then made their way all the way to the lower bracket final, where unfortunately they rematched against Alliance in that Swedish derby and couldn't even take a map. So if it was only a few months ago that they got a top 4, we've got to be looking at this one being in the upper bracket still, saying, right, well, let's try and get that target again.
Fast in here, Mac 10 from Joey, going to try and lead them in. The smokes will not suppress the T side. Heap still gets that kill to open, secondary kill with no flash against the man. They flash the back lines, not the front. Triple from Heap. Bomb being dropped. Ayok can return onto one of them, but now got Draken and Jocab to deal with here. Smokes towards camera and towards heaven. The player at the box at the stairs. Not be found just yet. Sapex creeping in the back lines. Ayok's going to try and 1-4 it. Look towards him. They've left that bomb still in the open towards the A side, so it's got to be the A end at the moment. As they get that kill, the CTs continue to try and spot them.
It's very difficult here from the T side, because you've got to keep prodding, and it's a pretty good looking crossfire. You've got another flash, another re-smoke that can go down. This is just going to waste more time off of the clock.
Put a smoke in of their own here for the T side, so you can get to that bomb without being spotted. Blind sprays coming in damage towards both sides. Zelex and Draken taking respective trade damage. Ayok trying to lean forward, and Draken is wary of that fountain position. Zelex, no more utility. It's only a smoke for Ayok, maybe to get into the bomb site, plant inside of that smoke. Slowing it down now. The 3rd player's broken away to cut the rotations. That's no longer as easy an option to go to the B bomb site. And time's ticking against MOUZ here. Ayok needs to strike.
Draken's just seen Ayok out here from the pillar. So tough. They're only giving them a jiggle right now.
Finally, Draken's put down, but Jocab takes the bomb carrier. Zelex removed. Ayok planting the bomb, holding it all the way through with that heaven smoke, keeping Jocab covered off. No info on where Lecra's coming in from. That flashbang indicator face. He's seen them both. Backs away, trying to take that fight directive on the first, but the second man has his marker and will get his kill in the first round of the half for Johnny Speeds.
Now, Jay, I had to check if I had my glasses on there for a second. Where's that flash to go through the smoke? Yeah, there's the Diva flashes, and you reference it. Where's the closer one? I mean, that's a joke. I know that that's a bonus round, okay, and I know that you're not working with the best of weaponry, You can't be A-rushing without a single smoke close behind that, a single flash behind that smoke, and that's just free. Heap's looking at that one thinking, I can't believe how easy it was to get those opening kills.
Back to a 3-round advantage for the Johnny Speeds camp because MOUZ may have been able to win that round outright if they had just played their cards a little bit better.
Considering how common that position actually is, being aggro towards A main, and when you hear the footsteps especially, you would just want to try and block straight away.
Again, maybe this is the fatigue setting in, the number of series that MOUZ and NXT have played today. Yesterday and mine too. Rifle State. They're looking a lot more solid for this one at least. The one silver lining is that, as you mentioned a moment ago, it was a bonus round from MOUZ, so damage against Johnny Speeds could set them in for a reset and they can get their full set of AKs out across the entirety board. Only one of them held over by Johnny Speeds and no AWPs to back up the 4M4s.
Zelix just trying to pressurize mid, and they're getting complete respect. You can see that Draken's fallen away. He's gone deeper into camera. Him and Heap can retake space together. Bit of a contact has come throughout from the canals. CTs just get spammed in the process.
Sapek taken. Advantage Speeds and mid control also being taken away from the CT side. The smoke towards Temple will clear, so Lekra will start to search around the top end of this position. Needs to get the kill on Zelix on the swing, and Zelix takes that headshot in an instant. 5-on-3 for MOUZ and NXT. Playing a little bit more confidently on their bases here. In the rotator of the third player back towards the a B bomb site. Now they've got the information on all three men. Zelix is still going in for the kills here, just to lurk out. That bomb's going to commit from B main, and will be joined by AOK in the end. They can secure that plant, and there'll still be a few seconds before Johnny Speed is set to retake.
It's a promising retake with double AKs though, and they've got a flash and a HE. Now Joey's been struggling individually, and he's going to go for this eager fight.
He's going to get it. He takes the trade back, and AOK stands alone. There's no kit for Heap. He can try to take the time, but a flashbang's so well placed, and AOK's full blinded by it. Caught in the open, going for an aggressive fight that cost them very dearly on MOUZ and NXT.
Well, they didn't really group, did they? I mean, I know that they're splitting towards A. You've got, what, 2 players in towards A main. You've got a third player coming in from camera. Fourth player a little bit further behind, and the bomb outside of B. Quite disjointed with 40 seconds on the clock. Rather than just waiting for a full exec, they just start pressurizing unnecessarily. And it was just such a great opening pick out there from Electric. I think that's been some of the struggles that MOUZ and NXT have had with man advantages, just not converting rounds down. And say what you want about this T side, that's a 5v3, Jay. Like you cannot be losing rounds like that.
I mean, even moments like Zelix, they're pushing into camera. Like, you've got the 2 kills against your teammates. You have all the info. You heard the third player rotating. Exposed in the open. You knew it was coming in from heaven. Could have maintained at the very least a 3-on-3 and had a few more options available to you. Batches over towards the site. Jokab, Nade and M4 combining. Taking out 2 players. Draken with 1 pick. Nicodian with a return, but he's lost Zelix, meaning he's all alone. And Johnny Speeds are charging up to the map win.
Fundamentally, they've just looked very average, and Johnny Speeds have shown that extra little bit of quality. I mentioned it at the half. I think that if that clutch doesn't get one out on the B bomb site, where Zelix has, what was it, the M4 on that backside angle, he gets one, AOK then picks it up and gets a clutch. Mate, this is probably already done. You might even only get 3 or 4 rounds if you're MOUZ and NXT on your entirety of the map pick. You come into a gun round of round 18, and what are you working with? In-game leader on a Mac 10, Joey on a Galil, same for Nicodian. This is near impossible.
Extending, winning the fight on Zelix, transferring a ton of damage towards AOK. So much. Returned onto him on HP at least, but the man's alive. You can't say the same for Zelix. And AOK will be quick to fall the same. There's nowhere left to go right now for MOUZ.
And Jokab would have commed over that he's done damage there to AOK. So right now, you just sit back and play crossfires. You've got 2 players out on A. You've got the AWP that's still holding mid. Jokab is just waiting for the molly to come in from the pillar, and then that's when he can drop the smoke on himself. Now, for the T's, it looks as if it's just going to be a full commit into an exec. Now, I reckon this is where Heap can do a lot of damage with the AK.
Jokab was playing behind the pillar of the fountain. Stay as hidden as possible. Baiting the switch for Heap to come in. Molotov again, smokes in the way of the Fountain player. AK engagement doesn't go well, and Joe doesn't get much out of his own right. Does manage at least one kill, but Draken set to a 3-on-2, taking down Joe with the AWP. The HP still so low for all the players of the T side that remain. The AWP not required. He can put up the pistol and still win this. He's got 2 on 4s coming in. AOP will drop. OP dust caught. Draken continues to hit shot after shot. 22-10 and 12-6. It's a map point for Johnny Speeds.
And isn't it incredible that Draken won IEM Oakland in 2017 with NIP, which is still to this day the last prestigious trophy that organization won. And yet we're still here in 2026 and he still got it. Excellent form from Draken, both in the first half and the second half. And it's not just been with the big green, but I think that's where he's looked the most threatening, right? That's where he's put up the majority of his rounds.
Yeah, he's been mental. Well-storied career. Well-set map up from the individual. Sapek will drop first to OP Dust. Lekro holds his AK against 2 more men. Wonderful. The trades against Sapek pretty meaningless now. Kill for Aok, tries to return. Joe Cab takes the returning trade. Zelix and Aok. The bomb cells outside of main. They know of his position. They know that Aok's also out towards water, so creep in, run towards the A bomb site, try and clear out the positions, try and ensure that the bomb can commit safely. I mean, even then he's hiding back behind walls. He might get pushed upon by the CT players. So Zelix might not have a choice here. They're so separated. Hasn't got the breathing room to rotate with. Another tactical blunder here from the MOUZ NXT camp. Zelix will take the kill. Needs to win the fight on Heap though. That's his only chance. He might let him slip away.
All about timing. Heap is just taking more and more space away. He knows that Zelix has got to be around here somewhere, and now that bomb's been completely trapped. Zelix needs to fight. It's the only way that he can get out of trouble.
There's the kill on the man. Backstab starts to rotate from Aok here. No info on Draken. The worst player to face at this moment. Gets his kill. Here's the footsteps, and there's no time to rotate for Zelix. He's going to try it anyway. Running all the way around that A bomb site via mid. Draken will switch to that AK. The smoke towards camera will confirm that it's going to be an end. Zelix to save his team in this clutch.
And Draken's got full nades, so he can just pummel everything to try and get through this camera smoke.
He's going to walk it. Slow peek. Swing up. Can't get the kill. The one other mistake from the man in this map gives a lifeline for MOUZ NXT. 1 out of 6 to the overtime comeback.
It's a good effort there from the clutch of Zelix and just about survives. I think MOUZ NXT, though, need to show a lot more in this series if they really want to consider themselves to be a threat. Otherwise, it's straight to the lower bracket. I could take a tactical, but I'm not sold at all. It was a good opening pick, but, I mean, look at this from Lekro. I don't think he's had to do much in this overall series, but it's just the sharpness, some of the individual form that we've seen from the Swedes that have just outclassed the opposition today.
The mistakes made by MOUZ NXT in my eyes. Five still to make up. It's a long way back even from this, and you can see how the buy state's not helped by the fact that only one player maintained his life. Reinvests on the speeds, will keep to the AWP, the M4s. Yalil's on 1, Mac-10's on 2 others, 2 AKs only from MOUZ NXT. And that bomb playing lurk over towards the A bomb site. The majority of players are looking for what looks to be a setup and a set piece. It must all be a fake though with that bomb positioning. They're going to push the player forward on the Mac-10. Joey dishing out some damage, getting to the back lines of the bomb site. Seeing Lekro and final the casualty. That's a kill. And now a CT player to enter against the Sapek's going to back away. Can't spot the individuals though, can't see his men. As Heap gets Aok to a 4v4.
Well, it's still not over-rotated the A players at all. You've still got the anchor here and spotted the bomb now.
Flashbangs off from one of the C team members. Joe Cab going to get back towards Heaven. The Mac 10 continues to try and engage here from OP Dust this time. He's trying to find the kills, trying to find the engage against Heap, and nearly gets him down.
Well, they're trying to get the lurk. They know that Joey's in spawn somewhere.
And spending so long to these extremities, the Tizu, or CTs rather, have to back off and save. No retakes available for the Speeds. And 8th on the board of MOUZ NXT. A bit of a nothing burger round, but damage significant enough to force them out of confidence. Matt 10 will try hunt them. He does get a think off on the AWP player, baiting him in, but does go down. And there are no other trades from the teams in this round, so 4 more to the good.
Now, when I reflect on Anubis as a map, I remember the previous iteration of Johnny Speeds used to play quite a lot of it when they had Rolf and Bobek and Spook and Hampus. Even when Draken was a part of the team, they used to pick it. So maybe it's something that the Swedes will look at now that it's been introduced back into the pool and say, well, we're not going to pick towards it because we're really good on Overpass, but maybe we're happy to play it if an opposition pick it, happy to float it as a decider. And they've put up back-to-back strong performances on this map in the last week.
And the strengths of MOUZ have been absent on Anubis as of the majority of this map. Maybe they're starting to come together now. Economy's definitely coming together for them. 4 AKs now as opposed to the 2 in the previous. Galil's and Nicodian. The one weakened element as they're all grouped up looking to lean into the A-bomb site, 2 to defend.
And this is where Draken knows, get a kill, fall back, post for the second. He could put up a lot of damage against these A players.
Flash against him, forced out of the way, forced into the open, 2 around the corner, 1 connection. He's flash blinded again. Second player coming in close. OP does to get one of those engagements, but Draken disappears behind that smoke, but getting a secondary kill. Joey will return fire to a 3-on-3, and now can look for the bomb plant. Retake up for the Speeds. 2 kits in play. Electro does not have one of them. Seeing 1 player. Flashbangs coming in his direction. HG coming in close, but to clear up the smoke, not to do damage onto Joey, not to tank him down. 3rd player coming in the backstabs. A off the scene and seeing the flashbang at the very least. Joey gets an engagement. Electro goes in without support. 2 nearly line up for Joe Cab. He's so low HP on the last, and Sapek now reduced into the last. Aelk's caught on the outskirts. Flashbangs forward as Zelex peeks in. Sapek has his head turned away, and Zelex will just keep a hold of a 9th round for MOUZ NXT.
It's another clutch. It's crazy to think that they've won 3 clutches, and yet they're still at the disadvantage. They're still trying to fend off the map point. That's a real shame from Joe Cab, because the timing couldn't be any better, could it? 2 players grouped up, low HP out there to default. You'd expect that Heaven player to get 2. And what a hold from Draken, considering how many flashes there were. It's super difficult to even get 2. And that nearly comes in. And Johnny Speeds want to treat this as an upgraded half. They've got an M4 out for Joe Cab and a few upgrades here and there.
And Joe Cab will send himself towards mid. Draken support damage done by Sapek's Deagle from Electric towards the water presence. Not a huge amount. The Molotovs will force Joe Cab into the open. He'll take a fight against Zelex. Zelex will win it. Secondary flashbang. PC-50 goes completely unchecked, and therefore drop to AK for Draken to utilize, running into the AWPer. And Aelk misses his engage. Draken's going to be facing. Try and take him. Nearly gets him down. They continue to threaten every single time in every single round.
They're just so lazy. Have a check out there towards mid. That's nearly a steal. Now Heap's going to be able to pick up this M4. At least they've got a stack on B.
He goes down quickly, and the last 2 players on the B stack, as you mentioned, are all that they have. Lekro. Molotov's good shot on Joey. That's a start. 2nd kill on OP Dust. Nessa So. Team ace for MOUZ NXT, who are starting to pull together. Been so messy, so scrappy, so tired from them.
And it still is, no? I mean, they're only just winning these rounds. They've had to win, what, 2 clutches on this round streak? I'm then looking at a player mid that's just not even clearing space. Mate, this looks even more messy than what I've seen earlier.
But they're finding the X factor to clutch these rounds, and that may have to be what you rely on here. There's so little else to speak of. The rifles are set back in for Johnny Speed. You've got the AWP in for Draken. For Mars for Joe Cab. M4s for everybody else here. Whereas the economy has finally built up to the solid set of AKs for MOUZ NXT. Couple more rounds left in the half. A chance to reset the speeds right now could give them that access to overtime they're looking for. Draken caught off open space in a main. Take the 38, but he gets away alive.
The exact same position that he held in the last gun round, just waiting for that apex. Now, AOC has cleared up all of mid, and if he just even jiggles out here to camera, you'd have to accept that the AWP is going to win the fight.
AOC. We've seen him. Pixels all you need. And Heap is connected against.
Stack on B, though.
4 players. The bomb's going to make his way in there. The defaults have gone awry for the T side. Joey didn't see the player on the left. Peek forward of Lekro. Going to try and take him down in the end. That's an overextension from Johnny Speed this time. Flashes against Sapek's part. Will give Joey and Zalex another chance to get him out advantage. Down to 2 men they go. And the stack collapses in spite of that. Joe Cab only good for the 1. Draken on the cross can get 1 engagement on Joey. But AOC takes him on the return. That's 5 in a row for MOUZ NXT. By hook or by crook, by clutch or confidence, they're looking to drag us into OT.
It's very unfortunate because we can see that if Johnny Speed sit on the bomb site, they probably win that round. But from their point of view, it's a man disadvantage and it gets silent. So you want to make an info play. You want to extend out to B. And once they see that bomb, they're in the right mind to keep fighting, to keep brute forcing that duel. It's crazy to think that that carrier just doesn't go down. And now, unfortunately for the Speeds, they are really working with one of the weakest buys to try and close this map.
Gonna try and aggress. Nays to reveal that smoke, but Heap will not see anybody. Start taking the speeds. MOUZ NXT. Defaults are careful. They know that this is the last chance they're going to have. They cannot afford to make a mistake now.
Well, Joey is backing up, and they're going to take all of this space away. So this timing looks quite good for the CTs because they see nothing on B, so they're going to stack up heavily towards A now.
And that could be where the bomb's going. I mean, out towards mid, they have a few options available. Heap just took some damage of the blind sprays beyond that smoke from Nicodian. Our incendiaries are set back towards a more standard default, but still majority presence towards the A site. Flashbangs forward towards camera. Bomb's going to go in first. Heap, can he drop it? Head turned away for a second, not revealed by the presence coming in from me. He does head down a bomb carrier alongside Sapek's kill on towards Joey. He looking for a second. He AWP in mid. AOC can strike down 1. OP Dust burns Heap away. 15 seconds. Sapek also overwhelmed. The bomb will try and get recovered. Can Jokab take down the partner? He can get Nicodian's backup. Look forward against OP Dust. He's going to fall. And the AWP of AOC is all that remains. 1-on-2 to hold the defense. Known towards mid opposition, making noise of their own. Draken trying to bait him shot, but he can't do it. AOC takes that kill. Joko gets ahead of the curb. Flick shot missed. Take9's pulled out. And AOC hits the head. Another clutch from him. His 3rd or 4th of this game. And it takes us to overtime.
And that's crazy. I can't believe they've won another clutch. There's so many moments where they should not even have a chance of sending this into overtime, especially that last round. That's a super hold out there on the A players. Heap and Sapek are chiming with one another. And then AOC just somehow wins another 1v2. And it's got to be very tilting if you are the Johnny Speeds, because they've looked like the far superior team. They've been better on the first half. They've been better on the second half. And yet, the only reason that MOUZ NXT are surviving is literally just winning 1vx's.
The firepower of youth, it seems. X Factor delivered at the right moments. And for 6 in a row, MOUZ NXT survive on their own map pick. The map win, the Johnny Speeds, it could have indicated a simple 2-0 series for them. Again, going into the second, it's not exactly MOUZ territory. Forced to fight on a little bit longer. Not over for that possibility just yet, but now MOUZ have a serious chance to take their pick away once again. Leaning into mid. The smoke's down at camera provided by the T side will give some options to work into B, but that's where 3 players are holding.
We've not seen this deep territory ever get gained by the T side, so they know that it's an option because of that smoke down towards camera. Eventually a CT is going to have to hold the wrap, but this looks very promising.
All 3 CT players are currently pretty grouped up in Electric. They're going to hold Electric and wait for T action. All the back lines are cleared. It's too quiet. Are they going to read the 3-man Electric setup? And Carolina's going to spot Presence coming in. The push forward towards Canals will actually try and converge upon this man as Lecro will get forced out by Aok on the main site attack. Kill to return, and now Nicodian can go for a big old wrap backstab. Man advantage from MOUZ NXT here.
Now, Heap is watching out for it, but it doesn't matter. Still loses the fight, and now Sapek's got to draw his attention over. What a sequence this is from Nicodian. It's so much time being wasted, and for Johnny Speeds, they just give too much space away there. All the extremity players are successful, and they make that look like the best round yet from MOUZ NXT.
Well, the scrappiness has been definitive to their success. So nice to see a confident round coming in for them. Change of pace. Orpa Draken will at least stay in play, taking 1 exit frag, not making it the cleanest of rounds. And for a player with 28 kills, he must feel particularly hard done by with the way things have gone here for MOUZ.
Yeah, for sure, right? I think when you're a veteran of the side, when you've been playing probably one of the best games that you've played in the last handful of officials, you want to make sure that this is a 2-0. You don't want to be going a map down when you were 12-6 up into Overpass. Draken going to go eager for the opening pick.
Lean to the archers to look at the Canals entrance. Seeing nothing of the T side though. Laser turning damage on Heap. Contrast the lack of anything for MOUZ to the 2 HEs. Joey now will walk his way forward of that smoke over towards the B main. Meanwhile, the utility comes in towards mid and the B electric position. The 3rd player is drawn into the B play. Zelex. Flash peeking. Flash over is a little bit missed time. Draken ineffective, gets that kill, starts things off.
Haven't seen Draken AWPing very much towards that camera side of mid, so it's an easy one. And Joey is just hoping for someone to jiggle, someone to give up anything. Now, he's going to see that backside play you'd expect, but he'll have no idea about the players on the right-hand side wall.
Well, Draken goes back to harder cover rather than going for a directive peek, and he won't be seen with the gaps. Already covered behind the pillar anyway. Meanwhile, 2 men trying to make some sort of sell some sort of fake out towards the A bomb site here. They've got smokes and flashbangs coming in. Player looking to engage for Nicodian. It does draw that 3rd man away from the B bomb site, but no further noise being made, no further action seen. And now Sapek is seeing the Canal's presence, seeing the rotators. Now they know what's going on. But where Sapek and Lacro go down, Jocab needs to hold on his lonesome and stall for time, stall the backup. 2 players swing towards him. He takes a fight and loses it to OP Dust. Bomb now can get planted. It's a 3-on-2 for the post plant.
They get that bomb down safely. Heap might even get swung here from the Canals.
Flash in, Heap's too close. Nicodian's caught. Incendiary will block away, and OP Dust turns out towards Draken. And should turn over the 14th Heap. Trying for a retake clutch. No utility left to do so. So at least got that kit. We need to get these kills in rather quick. Joey's AWP posting towards the outside of the site and gets the connection. 2 kills each for the surviving players. And it's 14-12. MOUZ NXT very nearly back in control.
Yeah, well, they've lost their edge now on Johnny Speeds. I think that round is a prime example of it. You've got an opening pick, and you're not over-rotating towards A. There's less than 30 seconds on the clock, and there's 3 players. Sapet, Lekro, Jocab, get 1 kill between them. It's not good enough. They need to be locking out that defensive. They shouldn't even be close to getting a bomb down. Now that hurts, because for the majority of this game, you were the team that was outclassing them, and now we've gone into overtime, and it's completely flipped. This is a well-drilled MOUZ NXT. They've put up back-to-back strong T rounds. They might even go completely undefeated.
Round 27 for Johnny Speeds to hold on to a lifeline of their own. To think it wasn't too long ago where it felt like MOUZ NXT needed a lifeline. Needed many of them. OP Dust finds the start. Heat goes down. Headshot gained electric. Sapek going to start to lean forward towards elbow in mid. Flash forward. Orpa gets caught for it. So Aok is dead. AK returns from Zalek. Keeps that man advantage.
And now that's going to draw in Jocab, which means it's not really an A defender. Now B pressure's coming out from Electric, out from main. AWP's in the open, and Draken misses.
Well, they're going to come into Glyph to force him out to the open even more so. HG's against as well. 36 points of health. He's not going to stand much more of a chance. He miss another kill, miss another shot rather. Nicodian starts to act on the lurk into the A bomb site. Can now provide a second option for the bomb, and it looks like that Johnny Speeds are going to have to face against it because MOUZ are going to take it.
Necro's just so low. There's just nothing you're going to be able to do on that defensive. This is going to be a flawless T-side half from them.
15-12, 3-0 in OT. And the Orpa nearly tapped up by OP Dust. It's making all the noise, working into the back lanes. Jocab knows that he's being pressured. The P250 tries to come out from Draken, knows that he can't afford to miss with that AWP. Will drop in the end. AK's picked up by Jocab. Another extender from the T side out towards Beach, and Nicodian doesn't miss out this time. Draken caught by Joey on the flank towards mid. The search works for MOUZ NXT. 3-0, 15-12. Map point for them this time.
And it's 9 rounds in a row that's gone the way of MOUZ NXT. This has been a complete choke from Johnny Speeds. Yes, we might sit here and say they got a bit lucky here and they won a clutch hit. All of those factors are true. However, when you're a team that's up 12-6, you cannot lose 9 rounds in a row. You have to blame yourselves on that one. You've got to take some responsibility because MOUZ NXT are slowly starting to present more in this series. I've been a lot more satisfied with what I've seen in the last 3 than basically what I saw from all of regulation. And now, if you won 9 in a row, well, what's to say you can win 10 in a row?
One more round may say it. Up to Johnny Speeds to turn the opposite here. Need 3 in a row. Nicodian strikes first. Sapek down inside of that smoke. Dead to rights on the pre-aim. Advantage for MOUZ NXT. Johnny Speeds trying to find action elsewhere. Lekro working his way in towards mid. The flashbangs of Draken's AWP to watch for. CTs are not over-aggressing here. Not this time.
HE placement looks good against Jocab. 55. Now he's hoping to draw a fight once that smoke clears, but a re-smoke comes in.
See inside of that smoke. Timing against Joey, not quite as proficient, so 5-on-3. MOUZ NXT. Left a gap for Heap to play with. Bomb needs to be recovered by the man or the wraparound from the AWP player. Draken needs to recover. MOUZ. Incendiaries on towards the main entrance and draw attention towards Zelda and try and convert upon this bomb site. The Orpa Veilk waiting for Lekro from range. Back out towards mid. Kills found. Heap is close, but he completely whiffs his shots. And now Draken, no more misses allowed. Perfect from here. The flick to the first is good, but the second man is way too close to secure 10 in a row for MOUZ NXT. Johnny Speeds from masterclass to disaster class will concede Anubis.
That's a very good showing coming out from MOUZ NXT, and I think you and I both know that CS2, and especially Tier 2 CS, can be very much a mental game. Now, I'm looking at Johnny Speeds with what they showed against Metasport only a few hours ago, where they won their map pick, but got decimated on map 1, got pumped on map 3, and I'm thinking they're going to be full tilt. They're really going to be affected after that last one. I cannot believe they've lost 10 rounds in a row. it's going to be very difficult, I even think, on their map pick to be able to respond now.
I mean, equally so though, Dwayne, you did also mention how Overpass is not a very good map for MOUZ NXT, so to play devil's advocate for a little second here, I mean, does that not indicate to you that the Johnny Speed side are on a 5-match winning streak? Do you have the fundamentals at the very least to beat out this MOUZ NXT side?
Oh, they'll certainly have the fundamentals. I mean, I would always expect them to win Overpass, but do you expect them to win it after losing 10 rounds in a row? It depends on how much the tilt factor really affects them, and how much for MOUZ NXT, they'd love to try and close this day down in a 2-0 rather than having to play your third best of 3 that goes to all 3 maps.
Umpteenth map as well over the last 24 hours, as you mentioned a moment ago there, Dwayne. So for MOUZ NXT, it will still be a battle, but they put themselves in very, very good stead. A surprising turnaround from what was turning out to be a very one-sided little effort from the Johnny Speed camp. MOUZ NXT will now move to Overpass, the pick of the Johnny Speed side after this short break. We'll see whether they can wrap it up in 2 and indeed make it an early night here in the Challenger League.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh.
MOUZ NXT may get their speeds on against Johnny Speeds. They take their opening map and a hell of a comeback. You mentioned the mental dweg. You talked about the fact that maybe they are quite tilted off the back of that opening map up in the series. Johnny Speeds pretty much had control for the entire thing up until they hit 12-6, and MOUZ NXT brought 10 rounds in a row back. The one silver lining again is the record of Overpass from MOUZ NXT. It isn't exactly great in the last 3 months, and that may be the only thing going for Johnny Speeds right now.
I do think it's better than what maybe the stats say, though, Jay. They lost it this morning or this afternoon, and it went all rounds in regulation. They've been able to beat Magic on it in overtime, which is a team that I would categorize as a high-end Tier 2 squad. And then they've also taken 10 rounds off of 9 only a couple of weeks ago. Now, for the Johnny Speeds, yeah, their Overpass is going to be very good, but losing 10 rounds in a row is something that's very much unheard of. And I also look back at Anubis. 5 clutches were won there for MOUZ NXT. Let's just imagine a world that we get into Overpass and the same sort of thing happens again. Zelix wins a clutch. AOC wins a clutch. If all of those things go right, then I can see a 2-0 here.
Well, look, Zelix is the matchup MVP for the map, for the previous map, and obviously he was key in there, pivotal to some of those clutches. You mentioned AOC as well, what he was doing with the AWP. A lot of cool things there from the individuals on the MOUZ NXT side, and it really came down to an individual game, because I did think the tactics were still scrappy. I did still think there were a lot of mistakes being made that allowed, of course, them to get to that 12-6 in the first place for the Johnny Speeds side. But if there are some players to look forward to, it would be probably those two above them all in terms of the impact they could deliver, because if they can carry that on from the previous map, then Draken and Co may have some more concern to deal with here today.
And Draken knows I dropped a phenomenal performance across all of regulation, and I've not been rewarded. He dropped 15 kills, Sapek was on 12, the in-game leader of Letcrow was on 10. That game should have been closed 13-6, 13-7, see you later, let's get a 2-0. Whereas now, you've been pressurized in the series, and I know that MOUZ NXT have had a lot of competitive maps. They're still on a 7-game winning streak. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they make it 8 here tonight and they get themselves a 2-0. Now, Overpass is one of the weaker maps in the pool for them, but at the same time, Jay, they still play it quite frequently, and they've even been able to get some good wins on LAN on it. So I do look at OP Dust's side right now and think, if you're going to win 2-0, it's going to be right now against a Johnny Speed side whose mental could potentially be completely destroyed moving into this map.
I mean, and it's not just because of the fact that Anubis lost up. You mentioned a moment ago, before we went to the break, obviously the Metasport series and how that went down. You've had two very one-sided map-ups. You had the second one that you did obviously manage to take, but it still went pretty close, and considering the fact that they had a pretty commanding sort of position as well from the Metasport side, like Johnny Speed's his own perspective has got to be very much in the dirt at his present point in time. So you're right, like this is blood in the water right now for MOUZ NXT. All they have to do is make like sharks and strike while the iron is hot. They've got the first map, they're on the CT start for the second, the pistol is about to go live.
And potentially some prep, if any at all, that they knew that Overpass was going to come out in this best of 3 series. I think it is difficult to do anti-strat when you're playing so many games at the moment, but Overpass is always the #1 map in the pool. Jiggle out there from Monster sees all.
Kill from Heat, finding Aok to Star, looking back to OP Dusty, lands a headshot back on the man of 4 versus 4. Leaning forward to that USP, trying to stall for backup, but he gets picked off soon enough. Bomb now on site, 3 on 3. A second trade from the captain has done wonders for MOUZ NXT. Alex is starting to lean forward and set in for the retake.
Well, the bomb's planted for Heaven, and Sapek's taking space away, so this is going to be very difficult here for the CTs. They've got to try and draw fights out in the open.
Oh, Joey's not seeing anyone extending out here. They will prod out a Monster. Take the directive fights. Seeing Lecro's head, just can't stabilize an accurate shot. Finding Nicodian gets his man. Checks out the cubby corner against Draken's Par. And the third player, I believe, spotted there towards Graffiti. Sapek has got no presence on the bomb site. Eventually, headshot takes him off. And the pistol round will go the way of MOUZ NXT.
I just didn't see enough time stalling on that post plant. It's always very difficult for the CTs to tap and basically stick. So what they've got to hope for there is just keep taking duels. Just try and keep dropping T-side players and then eventually get onto that bomb. Now, for Johnny Speeds, they did get a couple of casualties and a bomb plant, so there's definite force buy potential, and we see instantly the force buy up.
Lil's on 3. And a scout in for Draken. We saw how that second round force buy actually did rather well for him when he brought out that scout in the last map. Headshots are plenty for the Orpa, and of course the on rating basis top performer of the last map. I know Zelek's got the MVP on the winning side of MOUZ NXT. If you take a look at all the players in the server, Draken scored 1.56 in that last map. Lots of positivity. And ZX. Challenge on Lecro. Lecro does win it out. That bomb was on his back, though. That could have been an easy chance to win the round outright. Joey struggles there towards Long. Will take down Sapek. Are they going to think that there's nobody else out here? No, they won't. Running right into Aok. He gets both those kills. And now it's a 4v2.
All of that space being generated, now being wasted. Draken is in a 1v4. What an entry that was from the in-game leader. And that's going to be more frustration. You go into a force buy, you've got Pika's advantage on the reverse. You'd definitely give that fight towards Alex. And you win a 5v4, and then from that point onwards, you don't win another kill. Now, Draken's hoping to catch one of these long players, but it's just not happening. And for MOUZ NXT, that is a perfect round. You keep the majority of the rifles up, and you're not getting reset at all.
And let's catch Nicodian with his back turn, so that's one more pick. Got 100 HP. A smart call for the CT side to recognise that first of all you can rotate to B and second of all to back away. His HP isn't exactly great for them, so the trade game. They won't in the end. Aok 2-0 to his team scoreboard with another triple from the man. This is like 7th triple kill of the game, I think, of the series. Yeah, solid start from MOUZ NXT. Johnny Speeds tanking down to the eco.
Do you just reckon that Aok has had 7 triple kills of a best of 3 when he dropped 23 kills on map 1? And he's now on 26 now, which means 23 out of those 26 kills have all been triple kills.
It was all a little bit of hyperbole.
Well, if you're going to make the statement...
I said like 7 because you know I'm not being specific.
Yeah, more to the degree of 2.
that seems a little bit too low, I will say, in terms of actual statistics. Slight bonuses on the buy up here. Upgrade pistols taking out the first of Zelex. The scout of Draken also brought in again without Kevlar. Doesn't get anything out this time. Bomb plant could well be secured here for the teams. Is now on site and shouldn't get secured. Aok Timing on Joe Cab, sees him, takes him, returns on Lekra. A little bit late to deny that bomb plant, so some bonus cash for Johnny Speeds, but around that ultimately won't go anywhere on the scoreboard.
And another triple. Come on. We're up to 7.
No, it's 8 now, Twig. It's 8 triple kills.
Yeah, and it's now 13 rounds in a row being won from MOUZ NXT. Let's just keep an eye on how long that streak goes for. I know that a lot of people never like to judge Counter-Strike on, let's say, using the rounds from the end of map 1, moving into map 2. I certainly do, especially if I'm coming here with a point of view about mental, and I'm thinking about tilt factor. Yes, it makes a huge difference.
We've got the buy-ups from both sides. The first rifle round of this map. AK is on the T side basis, the AWP out for AOK. Nicodian's still taking the MP9s of the bonus weapons on his part of things, and a lot of cash in general for the CT side, so they can be alright here. Zelex. Nice big damage on towards Joe Cab, so they'll do early damage towards him. Joey will take some back in return.
And they want to try and pressurize B. Sapek realizes I've extended out quite far. I've not quite got a contact. I'm going to reel myself in here. Otherwise, I might just give away an opening death. Now, it's a very heavy B-centric default. They're just about to clear the short water angle. Zelex in from Con is being hit from both sides, but he does lose a fight.
AOK taking him down with the orb. Sapek leaning forward. Now exposed to Joey. Trying to the second. He gets him down. Triple secured. Sapek strikes well and strikes true. That should be a save call for the last 2 CTs. They are out of this round.
And that's easily the most insane individual sequence we've seen in the best of 3. So quick on all of those kills. And how he just read where they were going to be. Just slightly maneuvers out into the open, holds an off angle to the left-hand side, and then pre-aims the swing, and then just expects the next player to be towards Monster on the grill. Oh, that's perfect. And that's definitely a way to shut MOUZ NXT up, right? I mean, that's an opening kill from AOK against the extremity lurk around the party position, and it's just one player making a bit of magic on the server.
Absolutely ruined them. Thankfully, it was a bonus buy, so you can see the rifles return from MOUZ NXT pretty confidently, and the AWP stays in for AOK. But yeah, what a sequence that was from Sapo. Watch it again in slow-mo and all. That third shot was nasty. And Johnny Speeds have ended the streak. 13 in a row for MOUZ NXT is as far as it will go. Now they've got to get a streak of their own going right here on the team side. Need to start pulling up some momentum on their map pick.
They're going to start 4B with the AWP out here on the pillar, so don't see that frequently. Now they know that Sapek caught a timing where he just walked short sandbag in the last round, and he might try and do the exact same thing. Now that previous one, Jay, no one was watching short at that one moment, so that's going to be in the back of the mind for OP Dust to think no matter what we're doing on B, we need to always keep heads up in case there's a walk, in case there's just a raw contact.
Joe Cap seen one, can't quite get the engage towards Grill. Joey was hoping he could jump up and catch the man. Laying out some laser very least incendiaries on Sapek, maybe forced to use that smoke. No, he's caught the one corner, the one angle in which he can stand and not be affected by the molly. In the end, AOK is the first man to fall, and engagement from Lekro coming in, I believe, towards the monster entrance. A starting advantage for the T side.
And Nicodian is known out here towards the corner, so he's got to try and either repos or basically sit here. So much space from Heat. This looks really promising.
Ooh, Joey evaded. He's wary that he might be able to walk forward. There's counter utility against the execution that was faked out. The one man towards Long as Zelex. All he can do is let them slip by, or can he sneak against the bomb carrier here? Flashbang turned away from, they don't peek all the way with it. 20 seconds, default plant. Lekro is a threat. Heat goes down, swing forward to the second. Lekro's naded, and Zelex couldn't get towards sight in time. The AWP blinded by the smoke, and the M4 continues pushing it anyway. Now seen towards that corner. Draken fails to get that kill. Caught back by Nicodian, and Lekro's got to get trading back here. Doubles up as well towards Zelex. And OP Dust left alone. Orb too close, can't get the first trade. Lecro, 1 point of health here. A pistol pulled out against him might be enough. Don't think OP Dust has the information though. Now sees him, can get that wallbang nicely. But actually he does have a kit, but just no info on Jocab. He does want to fall back and save the AWP in the end. Second round of the Border Speeds.
Well, fundamentally, they're playing some pretty good CS on this T side. We saw a great exploitation on B in the last round. And then out there on A, there's just another walk. There's just another open bomb site. And if you are MOUZ NXT, you are thinking 2 rounds in a row now, we've just had holes in our defense that have been exploited. Now, that's going to happen quite frequently on a map that's played as frequently as it is for Johnny Speeds. But even still, just the positioning. Now, I know that Zelex makes it a bit threatening and Draken struggles out there towards the van. But all in all, there was no hope. There was absolutely no chance in that round for MOUZ NXT.
And a tactical is called by LMBT to address the issues of those holes in the defense, because you're right, 2 rounds in a row. Been allowed to walk pretty directly into the bomb sites and take far too much map control. Again, this is the Speed's home territory, they know it well. MOUZ NXT. So that, of course, they can do all that prep work against the 25 maps in previous for Johnny Speeds coming into this best of 3. Easily the most favoured map in the pool for them. Draken tagged up. 50 HP nades onto Joey, jumps in. It doesn't take a whole lot though, considering it was 2 HE, 61 HP. Mostly okay.
And it makes it very difficult for an academy side who doesn't have an assistant coach, doesn't have an analyst, to just get all of the prep work done when you're playing so many officials. That's the advantage that someone like a Johnny Speeds have with 2 guys at the helm of Hype and Freiberg. Heap, walking space again, a lot of contact moves.
Working their way up. AWP Draken. Smokes against him. Monster block will come in against the CT side. They'll just continue to hold their nerve. OP Dust backed away with that SMG. Draken passing the bomb to Jocab. The HE to reveal that smoke. The AWP will not see anything behind it. Now they set for the execution. 3 men total on the defense.
Heap's banging for this entry, but he's just not been given much of a go at the moment.
Smoke at Heaven, Gumble's up right here, and the coding could get caught in the open. No, Joey protects himself, protects his teammates as well. Zelex also strikes back Lecro, down to 2 men and 1 man as Jocab is caught by OP Dust. Draken, his orb only good for exits at this stage. Bomb lost to him, no time to pick it up and plant it, and CT's swarming the bomb site. Trying to make this expensive. He can't even do that. Zelex removes him. It's an excellent round defensive this time from MOUZ.
Really good timing from the 2 B players at Monster to try and get away from that short emphasis, but then also that tight angle from Joey to get a multi-frag. And it's funny, right? I think when we look at a lot of Spanish players in the past, they've always gone through the Movistar Riders, the Giants, the GTZ Bulls. Through that Iberian scene, Joey didn't play pro in any of the Iberian teams. He just went straight towards an international project. I mean, we have a look at Iberian Soul, Gentlemates now, all of them, all began their careers in the grassroots.
For many of the players in this team, this is their grassroots. This is their first significant showing, his first significant team. Someone like Zelex, you can say, okay, fair enough, you had that 1 stint to stand in for the MOUZ main squad. But that's as most experienced as it goes, really. Forced buy-in from the teams. AWP of Draken, supported by pistols and an AK. Sapphire runs down the first player. A little bit awkward for Nicodian, who also goes down. Round steal available right now for the T-side line. Jocab is low HP. This could be one respectable trade off the CT rifles, but the pistols are getting so up close and personal with them. They're going to try and counter boost their way as well towards Heaven, so there's an Overwatch angle to play against Sapek. Almost finds Joey. He sees his man, takes down Aok. And at this point, that should be enough to secure the round. Indeed, the CTs are falling away.
It's a lovely force buy there from the Ts. Beat them by pace completely, go out and pop. And even though they're trying to drop util, they're trying to put that barrels and pillar smoke down, there's just not enough impact on the bomb site players. OP Dust needs more than one. Nicodian only gets one and Aok gets nothing. Zelex is hoping that he can save into this ult, but that's not even guaranteed.
And they do get away with it in an AK. Drop weapons and rebuy as much as you can, but now the buy states are starting to get tested by the Johnny Speeds with a speedy tactic. And you're right, excellent force buy from them. Set up a swing round between the two sides, no savings in for either. A little bit slightly lesser so of a strenuous position for the Johnny Speeds camp. Certainly a reset opportunity for both teams. AK. Jerry, the HG goes out towards the connector smokes, doesn't see his man. Aok gets caught by Lecro first up, so Orpa down to start, and only one man to defend from long.
And they're just starting to get more pacey as these rounds go on, just taking long so quickly. Johnny Speeds have got Zelex to deal with, and a gamble rotation because of the info play. OP Dust is push monster here.
Heap caught, transition back from Zelex, cannot get the kill. It's the little line of workability back into that B bomb site for the T side. They go back in from Con and play short.
Yeah, that's insane, right? I mean, how frequently do you see full monster being taken, gamble A, and then the bomb still goes B?
Yeah, SMG is going to clear out that Con presence. He might actually catch the bomb carrier if the timing is correct. Oh, trigger discipline. Hold it on the range. Joe Cab didn't register. OP Dust. Ooh. Sneaking the back lines, timing's against him. Sapek's back is also turned, and OP Dust can get that kill. Can now block off B as an option, knowing it's all cleared out here. They have to hit A.
And this is where Joey and Nicodian have to step up. They've got util and they've got a crossfire to work.
Smokes in for the execution on the T-side basis. OP Dust is going to wait for it. Joey burns the back lines. 16 HP, forced into the open by Draken. Nowhere to go, but to his own demise. Nicodian caught by a second flashbang. That's enough vision to try to take the fight, but it's inaccurate as ever. And OP Dust can take down the casualty. That's one to drop. Bomb down. The back of dice open for Bank. OP Dust sees that headshot, can't take it. Jump face of one man. The second player is an unknown entity, though. They're going to swing together. Is he going to get caught off by aggression? They are going to start to make noise and start to make moves. Scene of the second. Now knows where Lecro is the same. Headshot isolated, but doesn't turn towards Joe Cab. And he can just about edge out this round for Johnny Speeds.
I think that's the most terrible bomb site hold that I've seen in this best of three. What are they even doing, Jay? Like, they know it's A. It has to be with what OP Dust has done. And yet you've got your DICE player that's just swinging in the open rather than trying to fall back to Bank or just be defensive. He fights in the open, and then your truck player is just pizza. It's like you know that they're going to flash. I don't know. That was just the most odd positions being held on A.
It's caught panicked here for MOUZ on NXT. Possibly another symptom of the fatigue. Certainly not encouraging. And MOUZ would love to have themselves a 2-0 series in this one. Flash forward, Sapek is going to get caught, so the upgrade pistols, once otherwise a pretty standard eco round, will still be able to get away with the kill. Zeus in, Tage's going to get caught. Zelex, the USP round the corner, doesn't quite land his tags, but he's bought enough time for a Deagle now from Joey to rotate up. And there was a heavy push, heavy amount of presence towards that B bomb site, but Joey still gets the Deagle shot on Lecro. Learns back towards Joe Cab and even lands him in the shoulder, so that's 56 HP for him. And CT still playing close, going in to try and grab those rifles, perhaps. SMG inside of the smoke, and MAC-10 from OP Dust. Draken takes out his backup. Aok is caught. OP Dust needs to get the bomb carrier, and that's what he does. The second T-side player that can still get it right back, though. One man left to Draken versus two of the CT forces. He's got to go to B now.
He wants to draw a fight before he rotates out to B. The problem is he's not getting anything. He's made a little bit of noise. He's now been silent about it. Now he's got a smoke, so he can smoke himself. And you'd think with an AK and a 1v2, his chances are pretty good here.
They're not going in to upgrade the rifles here. They're going to go to the MAC-10 and the AK. Eventually gets found with Cody. Fly him inside the smoke. Engage on the player at heaven, misses. MAC-10 now has the info to play with. Here in the drop-off. Both sets of footsteps move. OP Dust catches him with 3 HP to spare. And a jumping Mag 10 that finds the steal for MOUZ.
OP Dust is the lowest rated player in the last 3 months on Overpass, and it's statistically his worst map in the entire pool at a .82 rating. And yet he's 14-5, and we've seen previous rounds where he's walked down Monster, he's cleared all the space, he's getting some good reads, and he's putting up some individual impact. Now, it is crazy to think how many ecos that they have won across this series. If we're looking at gun v gun rounds, I'll still say that Johnny Speeds have been the much better team, but they have struggled in the lighter investment, and it hurt them on Anubis, it's hurting them here on Overpass.
And if you're struggling on lighter investments and clutches, there's another factor of how Anubis went down the way it did for MOUZ NXT. Remember, that 6-round streak was not clean. Return to OT was anything but. Oh, that's a clean shot from Draken at least. Trying to counteract. Fast plays in from the Tech 9s who want to try and beat him with pace. They did this once before. M4 dink down for OP Dust, and they're that to instantly return back to the even stances. OP Dust is caught out in the corner, had no choice in the matter. Bomb plant against Lekro's part. They're still going to push in from Graffiti. Joe's forced to fight against Heap. He'll take that kill in. Lekro struggling. Nicodian gets that pickup. Joey with the kill. He runs out of ammo, and Jocab can take him back down. Zelex alone, caught out towards mid. To go in from Con in a 1v2 clutch. Jocab is low. Lekro has no Kevlar, and he has a kit himself. As soon as he pops this nade in, though, it's going to be revealed. Half the time has already ticked away on the bomb. Flashes forwards. Trying to spray back at the wall, bang over it. Ramp gets his kill onto Jocab, but no smoke in the open. Time's too far ticked. He's out of there. Another steal, this time for Johnny Speeds.
I've just seen a Glock get a triple dink. What's going on? How is Lekro getting a kill there? Yes, it's not the easiest of shots in the world for the Heaven player. It's only a headshot angle around that sandbag. But come on, man. That's just actually crazy that Lekro has won that round for his side.
Yeah. Any other pistol would be unlikely, but for the Glock, it's just like, ooh.
And it's just some very good shooting. I mean, look at that first kill that Draken gets, just crouch peeking into the AWP in the bathrooms. And then they just accelerate, and OP Dust is just, he's nowhere to be seen. He's not on the bomb site, he's not rotating, he's just kind of in the middle, and he gets dinked before he can even fall back. So he's on, what, 5 points of health when the Tech 9s are running in like trains. There's just no way you're going to be able to get even a single kill there.
Johnny Speeds happy about the state of things now. Money is in a bit of an awkward state for this CT side. Money available for Nicodian. AOT can drop a weapon. Should be seeing an alright buy, but it's the fact that one of Zelex or Joey has to go down to an SMG or a FAMAS to get the full utility sets, and maybe Zelex might have to be the man where he's already got the Kevlar and the diffuse kit, and OP Dust, well, he's got $1,900 to play with here.
Yeah, we've got a questionable buy and maybe even a questionable map with how some of the performances have been going down. We mentioned some of the upper bracket games. I know that the Nuclear Tigers and Leo has gone into overtime on map number 1 there. What else we got? The Oromond and Gen 1. Gen 1 take map 1 pretty comfortably. Would be great for them to try and get a 2-0, try and advance into the bracket. And then TDK, who I believe are a mix right now. They're definitely not an organization. I wonder if that will change with the old Bet Boom core. Also seen Ill Will just about to get a 2-0 themselves. Alliance, we covered them yesterday. They're up against the Rebels. They should probably get a 2-0 in that kind of matchup. I think, again, they're one of the front runners to go on a little bit of the run. And whoever loses in this series will probably be taking on Alliance in that lower bracket round 5. So that's a tough draw for MOUZ NXT because they've played them before and they've lost to them. It's also a tough draw for Johnny Speeds because it will be another one of those domestic matchups. And I always think that Swedish derbies are very competitive, whether they're online or on land, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, right now, Alliance looking on for that 2-0. MOUZ NXT, probably not so much anymore. Deagle from OP Dust, not even being an SMG for his own part of things. It's still the 4 other rifles. Or trying to find the picking on Draken, and this time lands him. Head just peeking up into space, and that gives the AWP the opening kill. He's lost a number of those opening fights from long and mid, so that's a positive stance now for MOUZ NXT.
I was just going to mention, at least he's not changing the way that he's playing, right? You look at that last round where he just got domed in by Deagle. Some AWPers might think, okay, well, this is where I need to be a little bit more defensive. Play around the divider, play up from the long boost, sit there and jump spot dice. No, he's still got the confidence to go for aggro moves, and is still in the playbook from OP Dust. Now, from Johnny Speeds, we've seen them contact a lot across this map, not using a huge amount of util towards the bathrooms. So they just keep walking their way forward, and they're going to leave the B lurk. So Sapek's not even going to maintain that space anymore. They're going to probably start packing his 4 and head towards A.
Shot on towards Jocab, catching him in the backside. 5 on 3, didn't quite see the next man forward, and Heat will be allowed to peek forwards. Alex couldn't protect the AWP, does get the trade back, but runs right into Lekro. The bathroom's left compromised, and that gives Johnny Speeds access to the bomb site. Man advantage for MOUZ on the retake, though.
Very workable here from the T's. Joey can put up a bit of a defensive to try and slow them down, but there's nothing that will stop this plant. Now, there is a rotation coming in quite quickly out from the bathrooms. Lekro, he's still waiting for a fight before he wants to try and prioritize the bomb.
Engage the AK, Sapek gets tagged, but Nicodian goes down. The backstab closing in towards Long. Don't think that's going to get here in time. No, he lands that Deagle headshot. The last man seen there in the open. The other rifle starts peeking, and Joey supports Lekro in his demise. Advantage for MOUZ NXT, retaking at 6-5.
Look, Johnny Speeds have played that 2v3 perfectly, okay? So they've tried to draw a fight, they've tapped the bomb, they've got a good kill out there from the dumpster. Now, you would expect, if there is any kind of rotation from B, not up from the stairs, it's going to be a con play and then towards Banana or in for the bathroom. So you plant open for Bank, and yet OP Dust is just long. Like, why is he there? From the perspective of Johnny Speeds, he should just not be there on rotation. If he's going to come anywhere, he's going to come in from behind, and the bomb's just not planted for him. So, yeah, really surprising to see that move. And it's catching them off guard. Johnny Speeds, I think, will still be quite happy with 5 T rounds, though. I know that they haven't quite played to the, maybe let's say, the height of where they normally see fit. But it's still a pretty good half from a score perspective.
Still could even it out on the Johnny Speeds camp. 7-5 is the best case scenario for MOUZ NXT.
Great timing for Jocab. He's got so much space.
Another gap in the fence for the TT forces. Seen this several times in this half. With 4 men total on the B bomb site defensive as well. It means that Zelix has got so much pressure against him. AK is so close, he's flash blind, has no idea he's being faced upon. Jocab will win that fight, not quite as easily, but still. AK, advantage, space taken, bomb down. And no access to the site immediately for the CT forces, not even access towards connector immediately for them.
Well, there's no way that OP Dust comes up from Con and wins anything, not with this party lurk. Ayok is hoping to drive the truck player out, and indeed he does.
Counter mollies and smokes are immediately back from the T side, though, going to stall for time. Landing over a bank. Another molly will come in. OP Dust does get caught by Sapek. Joey with a returning fight. Draken's headshot doesn't quite connect. Joey's low. And Nicodian picks up an M4 to try and deal with Lekro. Gets into a 2v2. Smoke close towards that bomb. Gonna have to get covered off by it as well. Scout shot's missing. Glock is pulled out. Damage is done, but he's sticking it all the way in. And he can just edge out the advantage from MOUZ NXT. 7-5 to close the CT side.
It's another bloody clutch, Jay. I can't believe they've done it again. Ah, what a 1vx. And I think that's the only way to win that round is to stick the defuse. More frustration, more tilt. So many clutches gone their way throughout the first 2 maps of the series.
MOUZ NXT needs something a little bit more solid. A number of rounds stolen by the opposition at the same time, so it still is a close fair and a half. As Johnny Speeds transitions to the CT side, they have a chance to recover still. Johnny Speed's trail behind still, but not as much as it has been before. MOUZ and NXT turn to the T side, statistically their weakest half on this map in the last 3 months. Let's see whether they can try and turn it back in the opening kill for Zax. Doubles up in the pistol. We're already on the action going down on short. Joey finding Heap, and Lekro and Draken suddenly left very alone and very much out of contention in this round, unless something miraculous happens as Draken falls. The likelihood drips to 0. Lekro is revealed to get gooshed and found by Aok. Pistol win for MOUZ and NXT.
It just sent it into the mincer. I don't even think that's a bad call there for Johnny Speeds. They hear the footsteps in from short. They open up Condor. They want to swing short range with what is Julies, who are very good at that sort of that range game, right? They're always so much weaker at the longer ranges. And instead, they just start losing so many kills quickly. Now, even though it hasn't been clean here for MOUZ and NXT at all, they did go 3-0 in the start of this map. So if they get another 3-0, you're then up 10-5. Now, at that score, even if you've got some issues, right? Even if the T side is subpar, you've got rounds to play with that you can still close this game in a 2-0 fashion. Now, the force buy is coming in from Johnny Speeds. I think both teams have won rounds they shouldn't do on Overpass. We've seen quite a lot of eco damage. We've seen the lighter buys look quite strong. So I back this. I quite like that they're going into a force buy here.
Seeing so many eco steals and force buy steals, it carries its risk, yes, but the likelihood of coming out on top, the likelihood of counter stealing and finding a return on MOUZ and NXT is rather significant. Speed should know that. MOUZ may well be aware themselves. They're not going to go fast and lose into this round. They're going to still play it pretty pacey as they get into the B-bomb site rather quickly, but just trying to avoid any stacks in. They realize now that it was set towards the A-bomb site, the triple booster Heap. We're seeing absolutely nothing, of course. All on B. Bomb plant secured. The USPs will not hold anything into the next round.
And with this best of 3 series now, Jay, MOUZ and NXT are second in the world for most maps played on HLTV in the last 3 months at 120. That's crazy. These guys aren't full-time players. They are literally under 18, and yet they are up there with Forza Reload for just grinding tournaments, playing so many events under the sun. And that doesn't even include, let's just say, the round of 16 game that they played against Prestige last night on Nuke, the round of 32 game that they played against AIM Club on Dust 2, some of the opening rounds of the Open Qualifier for PGL Bucharest. Mate, they went through Open Qualifier number 2. They still played number 1. So you've got all those extra maps that are being played just on Liquipedia tournaments. Crazy grind mindset, crazy work ethic, and maybe also something that LMBT probably brings to the table. Mate, he was a part of Monty, and when he coached them, everyone will remember even the earlier iterations when they had Red Star on the team, when they had Joel, when they had Krizen working with the team. The very first lineups before they had the SDY and Warrior 2K1 and Krasnal was grinding so hard in Tier 2.
Makes you kind of question whether or not MOUZ and NXT really are a part-typing team. Because that's a lot of hours. 4 tournaments on the go. Got 3 upcoming as well, outside of any others that might enter at any point. I can sign up to maybe that's part of the reason as to why the VRS has had an uptick for them. A couple of good lands at the start of this year, which gave them a massive boost, and still they are on the rise in the VRS world.
And I'm sure they're just seeing money bags, aren't they? They're looking at this thinking, we've literally signed nobodies, and we're almost top 50 on VRS. We're getting towards the height of Tier 2. Oh, we can sell players again.
I mean, look, can't deny them for being economically efficient. This team may well prove that they are the best academy side in the world once again. However, Johnny Speeds are more immediately concerned with the series victories, and as Draken goes down, suddenly things get a little bit more awkward towards that. Body blocks inside that smoke, hope for the blind sprays. Meanwhile, Sapek tries to cut them off from the competition, and with that kill, Nicodian is going to apply the accelerator. 2 points of health towards him, but leading them into the bomb site. Heap's going to get Zelex to fall. Lekro's going to drop off. Jocab gets a kill from beyond that smoke, but he gets caught, as does Heap. Lekro's undetected. He's going to wait back here. The bomb is going to counteract the rotations. They know that he dropped off, so they're happy to go back into A, knowing it's completely opened up. They'll leave one lurker on the site just to ensure that the kill comes in against. Now, what happens? happens this round should be going the way of MOUZ and NXT. OP Dust will drop, so it becomes expensive. There should be no way Lecro retakes.
No, nothing at all. Save the M4, bring it forward. And I've said it for years, Jay. I've always thought that the best mindset for any Tier 1 team is to have an academy team that basically funds the main project, right? That you burn your money in your Tier 1 players, and then where you become, let's say, stable and where you resource a lot of funds is selling academy players. I mean, just look at Fnatic, right? Think about what some of the paychecks that are going towards what they used to have with Blame F, with having Crims, and yet they had Fnatic Rising and said, oh, sod this, we'll shut it down. Like, why? Why are we doing that? MOUZ NXT, Spirit Academy, VP Prodigy have all been very good examples of Tier 1 sides that can utilize unknown players, assign players on an absolute dime and sell them off. Now, I would like to think that for MOUZ NXT, around the summer period of this year is probably where you sell at least a couple of players. You put them up on offers.
I mean, look, things could well continue in the right place, and you've got Zelex, who's been a consistent performer, so at the very least you have a star potential in a star potential player in that guy. AOX had some impressive AWP moments. Not selling the core, you've got pieces that can go and generate some cash for the next round of investments, and MOUZ NXT can build again.
Nice to see a bit of a rising talent come out of Hungary, because I think in the past, yes, you've had Torzi, but for you and I, we've casted a lot of the riflers, and I think there's been moments across a few of their careers where it looked like they might have done something and then never really achieved anything. I think Aaron is probably the most well-versed Tier 2 rifler, never got to Tier 1, never even got too successful in Tier 2, or your BP5, your Salamander players, all just very average, right? None of them have had accolades. The last one was probably Dead Fox, actually, and that was someone that LMBT worked with about 10 years ago.
Experience in Nation. Now bringing a new Hungarian to the fold. Push in from the Speeds camp. We've got Lecro, that M4 that made the aggressive move. Now can try and go for an aggressive backstab. MOUZ has slowed this down here. So this actually allows this rifle to generate some threat with 4 players also on the defensive. Nicodian can get caught off. It's really down to the long presence and how Draken's going to handle with the P250 at close range. This is too slow. MOUZ about to let a basic eco slip out of their grasp. The M4 sees OP Dust. Gets that kill, and eventually now they have to make the moves in. P250 caught in the back lines. The flashbang catching got a lot of great effect on the TT side as well. Heap and Jokab come up. Electro makes it a triple with Sapek getting 1 peck and a 5-7. The AK comes back and just holds on to the double. Zelex, the star, we just talked about him, and for right good reason. He gets the clutch together to avoid disaster from MOUZ NXT.
Well, Lecro is more than fuming. He has literally won that round off of info before he's even struck with a kill, Jay. Before he's even got that M4 in for damage. They know it's A. There's 20 seconds. They're executing long. That, God knows what the mental must be like over on Johnny Speeds.
Molly's in, Nicodian. Damage was heard by that Molotov. Jokab's going to try to swing the strike. He does take him down. Kill found. MOUZ also give up the information from the AWP, and the CT's got nothing to do with that fight. Despite the damage done towards AOC. Smoke's coming in into Monster. OP Dust. He's ahead of the curb, though. Necro gets seen. He can be. OP Dust takes the first, not the second. Sapek returns fire.
It's a very important trade there from Sapek. It's a real ballsy play that OP Dust is allowed, but I guess being a man down and AOC being on 14 HP, you think about being slightly gimmicky. Now Sapek is still holding this monster smoke, and AOC needs to get this kill cleanly.
Gets him. Smoke ahead of the curve again. Jokab lines him up and locks down the low HP as the high HP comes in. Joey's left on a 1v3, and the Orpa Draken locks him down. All important round win for the Speeds. One that would have given a map and series point to MOUZ NXT, so yeah, all important with the AKs as a cherry on top for the CT side.
And I'd love to know how much of a comeback is realistically possible. I mean, we saw a 12-6 out there on map number 1 go to overtime. We're looking at an 11-6 here. So I think with this being T-side of Overpass and with the strong buy state that the Johnny Speeds have, we might get something similar. We might get a threatening comeback.
MOUZ NXT took it to overtime and won the last map up here. Can they be that threatening? It's the next big question. AK for JoeCab does struggle a little bit to get the spray together, but so does Joey to get shots off against the man. He goes away relatively unscathed. OP Dust, flashbang, just seen there on the jump phase of JoeCab, but his goal was to get the AK and to back off. Fight in towards Monster will try force players back. He's going to have to try and find an escape route. Smoke in will allow him to have that much. AG damage is minimal to Lecro.
Yeah, JoeCab and Lecro are just keeping their eyes pinned in case there's another contact to walk through that Monster smoke in from the short sandbag. It's a really strong opening pick, and it makes it almost impossible to return this round. Now, there is a long extension here from Heap, but it's not going to be a big advantage for the T side.
Engage 2-for-1 trades. The T's have managed to turn it into a 3-on-3 and overwhelm this A-bomb site. The lurker out from Monster. OP Dust is going down rather quickly, though. Smokes up the block vision. Flashbangs are wary of any side players, but they blind each other off and blind themselves off. Bomb on the back of the rifler. The AWP going to try and hold presence. Look into bank. Aok needs another stellar kill. A double up in the round. Gets him. Turn back towards Dumpster now. CT player about to act. Sapek can deny the bomb plant. And indeed he does. No, he doesn't. Selex returns the casualty. 1 HP remaining on him. And Lecro, they planted open. Get both. Nice fight. Spray goes just about together for Selex. You can see how off it was. But it comes together for the CT side just about.
Well, Lecro has got to be praying his lucky stars on that one. I can't believe that they've actually gone the other side of the plant and Lecro's come up con. Oh, they probably feel that after that bank pick and the one towards the dumpster that the third player must have been there en masse. Must have even been doubled up at bank, doubled up at dumpster, but there was a bit of separation. So much whiffed bullets back to back. Oh, that was extremely tight.
Can you imagine if Zalex won that at one point?
I certainly could. I could imagine it.
Oh my word. Fast hit. MOUZ gonna waste no time on this one. Flashes a scent, smokes out towards heaven. Lecro on the site, spammed out with that Mac 10. The boost is dismantled, and the Current is gonna get the opening kill. Sapek and Heap return fire on the rifles. Sapek pressed a little bit by rifle, picked up on one of the T-side players, but Zelex with the only another kill in the round. Comes together for Johnny Speeds rather confidently, all things considered. Try to hit them with pace once again. Johnny Speeds had a lot of success with the pace in their T-side half. Not so much for MOUZ in this one. And there's still not enough cash to go for a true buy here. They might have to eco again. Yeah, well, that was an unnecessary force buy coming out in the last round. And now they're going to go in for a hero with the loss bonus, pick it up. That was at 1.6 rounds in a row. It's now been answered back by 3. And this is a very heavy half buy. So I don't like this.
I'm not usually a big fan of it either. You have to get a bomb plant, and you've got to start taking CTs out.
Draken with the first one alongside Deep. M4 and AWP. Zalex popped through that smoke. Draken gets one of the kills, gets out of the way at 15 points of health, barely alive in that one. Zalex is hunting him. Knows that AWP is still a threat, does not know how much damage was done. Flashes over, holding in con though. Draken's protected. The boost. Check the mid access, know that he's not there, so now they should start to suss out the fact that he escaped towards con. And they respond by falling back and playing from party instead. Draken's watching for. 2 players swing, shots missed out, he ducks out of the way.
They should just excel A here, leave the AWP and keep pressing.
That's what they'll do. Sapek will be standing alone. Backup rotator in from Graffiti, and they're going to have to check out long. OP Dust, Deagle, back turn. Kill found on Sapek. Aok have to go and hunt down his next player, but Joey goes falling. Aok gets that kill. 2v3, M4, swung upon, bomb dropped. The AK backstab from Zelex, cannot get both the players. And Johnny Speeds have number 9. No bomb plant bonus from MOUZ NXT either. Zelex and Joey especially, and even OP Dust to some extent, it's going to be a bit of an awkward buy.
Yeah, I think that's enough, though. With getting 3 casualties, they have lopsided the CT economy. Loss bonus has completely disappeared. Most players have about 2 or 3k in the floater, so it was worth the investment. They just didn't quite get enough threat out of it. Didn't get that extra extent. Now, you do get an AWP still into the hands of Draken, and a pretty good buy here from the T side. I think what's just scary is how quickly these rounds feel like they're ending. We've gone from a pretty slow game on T side from Johnny Speeds in the first half to now B pops, rushes. I mean, right up there, it's the correct call, but they've run banana straight into the A bomb site, and then they've been hit really quickly on the retake. So we're getting into a bit of a speed run percentage, and then this is where you start favouring the side of a Johnny Speeds who's got depth on the CT basis. Not many more rounds here left in late regulation. Try and get yourself at a bare minimum 12 to overtime, but try and target that 13-11. Try and send it to that decider of Nuke.
Galil's playing fast and loose into the defaults here. And AK also looking for the opening pick. The AWP shot missing from Draken. The HE lands towards him, the tag in the less than 20. Galil does not go the way of the T side. A lot of players here on the B defense, and MOUZ and NXT have got very little info towards it. Smokes the block. And the T's just wait things out for now.
And that was a vintage 30% window right there from Draken. That's a sitter. That's the easiest of kills he's probably going to get on Overpass, and he's just missed. Letcrow jiggling, AWP posted. It is going to be a B end. They're going to contact through Monster. Letcrow needs to probably come up with 1.5.
AK leans in on Zelex. Letcrow and Safek. Damage being done. AK to engage. Zelex, Letcrow kills between them. OP Dust gets the man advantage together. Molotov's in the backside. Jocab has got to hide. Wait for his backup teammates to come in. The smokes towards heaven will land perfectly. Despite that, Heap tries to get ahead of it and still can't seem to get anything for his trouble. Joey gets that kill. Down to 2 men now for Johnny Speeds. The tactical was called in the round and still hasn't got anything for it. The AWP is seen. Jocab creeping up. And the T's will now know to adjust, and the smoke will clear to that cross, and no one is revealed. Draken hold his position, set up a flashbang, give that Emperor a chance to peek. A kill gets found, a second one for Jocab. But now, to get on the defuse, 5 seconds on the stick, no smoke towards it. Orpa baited, Aok goes falling to a triple. And the last man standing towards short, defuse held. Now got to see a swing. Nicodian has got a HP advantage. He'll get him off the bomb, and he'll get the round together. Team ace again for MOUZ NXT. They will lose every single player, but they'll get themselves to map and match points.
And Nicodian had won that round before he even peaked. He just knows I just need to play time. Doesn't matter if my teammates overpeak, if they lose fights. It doesn't account to anything. Because as soon as I swing, I either get him killed on the bomb or I get him off of the bomb, and that's done anyway. Oh, Draken, if he just got one. And I mean, what a difference in performance. He drops 30 kills out there on map number 1. He clearly looks like the best player in the server. He's now 7 and 16. And he's had some good shots here and there, but he's just not been the same consistent AWPer at all.
Absolutely not. Johnny Speeds quickly executing. MOUZ NXT holding their nerves as best they can. The Speeds, the defensive tries to lock up together, and they do actually get a man advantage for it. Low HP against 1 man though, and Joker back towards Ram can get Joey to drop. OP Dust is fragged against, and now he's got backup coming in from short. 2 men on the boost. Smokes are in the way. Sapek to check for adjustments are perfect from Aok, and now Draken now needs to show some of that first map life. Drop off heard. The flashbang's connecting against him. OP Dust can start to search. Galil wrapping over towards the monster entrance. Draken. Here's the footsteps. Aok just trying to bait him away from the site. That's above all. Matt 10 closes in the pincers and will drop him. There it is for MOUZ NXT. 13-9. A wonderful comeback on their pick of Anubis and solidifying for Overpass. Johnny Speed sent tumbling down to the lower bracket as MOUZ progressed to the semi-finals of ECL.
And what a strange best of 3 overall. I mean, MOUZ NXT come into this best of 3 as the highest they've ever been ranked on VRS. So from that notion alone, right, I think we're expecting a decent maybe level of quality and maybe an expectation of what we've seen in previous games. This was really sloppy. This was not a clean performance from either squad. However, you can give them a lot of credit from coming back 6-12 down on map number 1. You can give them credit for winning both pistols and quite a few clutches out here on Overpass. And for Johnny Speeds, they're going to be devastated because they know that this series could have definitely been theirs.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, even thinking about the way that this second map went down, the fact you had the 12-6 advantage on the first map, at the very least you'd be saying, right, this could be a 3-map affair. We could be off towards our final one of the series. We could be instead looking towards Nuke at this particular juncture. But no, they lost out control so efficiently. Yes, it was a bit of a shaky 6-round comeback from MOUZ NXT, but they still got 10 rounds in a row, 13 if you include the first 3 rounds of this particular picking him up. And Johnny Speeds, I think you're right about that tilt factor, because they clearly looked rather shaken at times, and very especially towards the end of this final map of the series, this one really slipped out of their grasp.
And we haven't seen the MOUZ NXT organization featured in an ESL Challenger League since season 45, which was back in June of 2023. So we're not really familiar with them in these cups. We don't really have too much of a guideline to follow. But if we look at their results, they've had a 2-0 versus Ents Academy. They had a 2-1 win versus Omega in the next round, in which, because of a scheduling clash, they had to forfeit map number 1. So they haven't lost a map yet. They've been going through the bracket. It's another best of 3 to add to the tally. They'll have a quarterfinal in CCT 15 to play in a couple of days. They'll have their potential 3-0 game in CCT number 16 to get themselves into the playoffs. So yes, there's a lot of wins coming their direction right now. They've got the closed qualifier, the Bucharest as well. So I would say it's positive from that perspective. You do have to remember, when you're playing 3 best of 3s today, when you're playing 2 best of 3s yesterday, lots of best of 1s, it is difficult to show that level, right? To show that high quality. So all I can say to them is they're on hot form, and they're winning a lot of games.
And they're charging through this upper bracket as well, so they've been able to maintain quite the run of form, and you can see how things are panning out. Still waiting on the results from that Leo Nuclear Tigers matchup. Meanwhile, TDK and Gen 1 have already beaten the opposition. Sparta fell pretty handily, and Gen 1 2-0 over Oromon. That's quite impressive. The Frenchmen are showing up some serious hype today.
Indeed they are. That's a good win, and it's one that will try and help them progress a little bit further on into the bracket overall. Johnny Speeds will be disappointed to not even take a single map here, but maybe 2-0s are pretty much the screaming aspect for this entire upper bracket. Now, down in the lower, I still don't think we're going to have many of these teams having what we would call a run. I think Alliance is easily going to be one of them. I think they'll look at Johnny Speeds as a matchup and say, look, it is a national derby, but we are the better team. We are for sure the extended squad out in Sweden. We're up there with the Eyeballers as 1 and 2. And as for X-Ruby, Illwill, I think that they could also go on a little bit of a run here. I think they could win quite a few best of 3s.
Yeah, Illwill will be taking on the Oromon side, so certainly looking forward to seeing how that will play out. But those are how the matches will weigh up for the Alliance part of things. We're focusing on them as being one of the key favourites. Johnny Speeds will be a derby to remember, I guess you could say, although equally so, as you mentioned before, one of those top 2 teams in Sweden. If you take Eyeballers and push them up into, like, I guess you could say the tier 1.5 international space, then you would say that in terms of domestic competition, Alliance are the best team in Sweden.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity for Johnny Speeds because they've played Metasport twice in the span of a couple of weeks. They've played Alliance in basically every single local tournament. So we always know there's going to be a lot of head-to-heads on the record. For MOUZ NXT, they've now got to try and focus up on their next game. And I'd like to see their schedule just relax a bit. I know that you want to accept a lot of tournament invites and the team's in good touch, but is it necessary to always play in an Exort series event? Is it necessary to play in a European Pro League? Personally, I don't think it is. I think with how much they've been able to achieve with the Draklands, with the Urban Rigas, with the Roman Imperiums, I'd much prefer them stay, let's say, within the ESL, a circuit here with Challenger League, stay within CCT, play the Bucharest closed qualifier, but I do think they've got their fingers in too many pies, and it will come back to bite them at the moment. Yes, there's a lot of wins coming from these last few days, but that's not going to continue for 2 weeks, is it? That's not going to continue for a month. So I would like them just to relax the schedule ever so slightly.
No, I'm with you there. Again, even at the start of this matchup, in the opening few rounds of this of Anubis, I thought to myself, man, they look so fatigued. They're making so many mistakes. They're making so many missed calls and misplays and just general sort of sloppiness across their board. But the fact they got it together, I think, is definitely credit towards the players. I do agree with you, though. Can't let this keep going, lads. So maybe just drop the unranked tournaments. Maybe start considering prioritising the ECLs and maybe the CCTs. And as you mentioned before, those Bucharest qualifiers, and also the other events that they, the lands that they might look to try and enter in them. So, yeah, just ease up on the gas pedal a little bit for the MOUZ NXT boys. But in terms of the here and now, they still look like they got a victory. 2-0, undefeated on maps so far in the bracket, and they move on to the semi-finals. And we move on to get on with our evenings. That's what we have for you in the ESL Challenger League. Still got 3 matches ongoing on the other community stream. TDK and Sparta, of course, concluding. Still got Leo Nuclear Tigers on their second map. And that's really what we have to basically show for here in the quarterfinals right now here in this moment place. So any final thoughts before we head off for the night?
I think for Johnny Speeds, they need to try and figure out where their ceiling is and how they can get a bit more consistency. We saw them knock out Nuclear Tigers, K27 and Inner Circle without even losing a single map in IEM Atlanta, but yet they come here to ECL and, well, they should have at least taken a single map in the series. So very up and down right now. They've got to try and find a key.
Well, we're all up in the ESL Challenger League again. 7 p.m. CET is when you can join us for tomorrow's matches. 4 of them to play for between the upper and lower bracket. It's starting to come down to crunch time in Cup number 1. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Instead, Draken's now set and ready to receive the aggression in.